Let's see if we can't do something about my boredom.
Magic the Gathering. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? I haven't played or cared about Magic in a while, a long while. I reinstalled Arena here yesterday because I saw that a new set came out called Bloomburrow, and it's like about little critters. There's apparently like no humans in the setting at all. It's just like a red wall Secret and M type deal going on. And I was like, well, it sounds like they made the best choice they've made in Magic the Gathering in a long time, so I got to check this out. So I don't know any of the cards. Here, okay, there we go. Look at this cool ferret with this poison rapier. I don't know any of the cards or the characters or anything. All I know about the setting is there's no humans, and it's little critters. And so I'm decided I'm going to go in blind here, and I plan on doing a sealed, which is where they give you 6 boosters and you have to build a 40 card deck out of it. Look at all this secret lore over here, son. 6 bloomer, okay. Bird folk, you know, white and blue bird folk, why not? Birds bring bonuses. They can fly. Did you know that birds didn't have flying? Rat folk, excuse me, you had my curiosity at bird folk, but you have my attention at rat folk. Of course they'd make them black and blue. Why not? Where are all the cool red and green rats? Slow down your opponent with strong blockers. Do rats make good blockers? Fill up your graveyard to unlock your rat's threshold ability, son. You have to pass the Nezumi threshold. Lizard folk, can't go wrong there. Legend of Zelda's got some lizard folk. I think the Elder Scrolls do. Son, BR, or you'll get reported. Okay, start small and go big, boys. Lizard folks are growers, not showers. Powerhouses for Magic's past. Does that mean Siobhan Dragon's going to be in there? Raccoon folk are going to be red and green. Ramp up your mana. Oh, mana acceleration, boys, and limited. If you can pull it off. If you can pull it off, you can drop some of them bombs. Include a few extra cards with high mana values. Expend. There's all these advanced. See, I don't know any of the set's gimmicks or abilities, and I haven't played Magic in so long. There's probably all kinds of stuff people just take for granted that your old Uncle Tenfei is going to have to learn about. Rabbit folk. Yeah. Think about the little rabbits from Shangri-La Frontier. Assemble as many rabbits and rabbit tugs as you can, boys. They don't sugarcoat it. If you're playing as rabbits, you got to pop that crowd out, son. Judy Hopps knew. Bat folk. Bat folk. Are they going to be like vampires? You gain rewards for losing life during your turn. And since you're playing black and white, you get that life back. You'll get that life back that you spent in an unholy communion to gain power. Is that otter folk I spy? Mr. Otter folk. Love to cast instant sorceries. Is it? I think this combination is called. There was a setting called Ravnica that I never played the game during, where all these like different guilds, they made up names for them. Mark Rosewater made up names for them. Aim for fewer creatures and varied spells. If you're the kind of guy that likes to take lands out of your deck and put in sorceries, that's for you. Squirrel, I already see it down there. Don't pretend I don't see it. Look, squirrel folk. Scramble about trees, nambly and pambly, and hide your nuts. Oh yeah, they have food. So you do. You hide your nuts. Forage. Mouse folk. Some folks calls them rat folk. I calls them mouse folk. They are different, son. They're each adorable in their own way. Mice always prefer to be on the attack, son. Oh yeah, they're Boris, son. That's aggressive mice. So include plenty of aggressive, low mana value creatures, son. Them little mice, they're little fellers, son, but they're so scrappy. They get such value, son. Just like the Secret of Nim, Mrs. Brisby. There's got to be at least one. I've seen in the promotional art a rat or a cute little mouse lady wearing a red hood. So that's got to be the Mrs. Brisby XP. Valiant. Frog folk. Did you crowd here some frog folk? Oh God, blue and green is so aggravating. So aggravating to deal with. Make use of creatures with abilities that trigger when they enter the battlefield. Son, frogs have ways of blinking creatures or return them to your hand because they're real hoppy. Got them long tongues. Extra value. All right. This is good to know. Now, I have one booster that they gave me because the first one's always free. Should I open that before we even start the seal? The reason I'm doing sealed and not draft is because draft is timed and I won't have enough time to sit here and spew my nonsense about the cards as I discover them. But with a sealed, we should get as much time as we want. Should we open this one free booster just to get a taste for what the set is? No, I want to go into this blind. Luckily, I have gems from the past. Gems from the past that I can use to play this mode. So, let's do it. Son, wish me luck, y'all. They're like, are you sure? They're like, you don't sound like we're listening to what you're spewing in this microphone. You sure you don't want to read up a little bit more on this, buddy? No. Richard Garfield, give me strength. All of my boosters have an angry badger man on them, son. Let us open them. Oh. Well, they don't bury the lead. They go ahead and show you your rares because I guess you're kind of expected to build your deck based upon the rares. We're going to go in order, even though one at the bottom has caught my attention. Kitsa, Otter Ball Elite, a legendary otter wizard. Son, has Magic ever had one before? You're like, well, there's that shapeshifter cow that has all creature types, Uncle Timfey. Okay, Vigilance, I know, means they don't tap when they attack, just like Miri Cat Warrior, who counts as a Cat Warrior. Prowess, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So does that trigger every time you cast a non-creature spell? And it works on any turn. Yeah, so if you use like an instant during your opponent's turn. All right, blue creature, tap it to draw a card. That's classic blue. Copy target instant sorcery you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Activate only. You have to make this otter wizard powerful before you're allowed to do the good shit. Before you can do the good shit. All right, well, I hate for my first experience playing Magic on my channel to involve blue, the color of sinners. You'd think it'd be black, but it isn't. All right, what do you do, Mr. Frog Warrior? The Valley Might Caller. A trample. A 1/1, 1 cost with trample, boys. Look at him defending the rabbits and the raccoons with his axe, with his hatchet. Trample. Whenever another frog, rabbit, raccoon, or squirrel you control, I don't see any mouses or rats in there, I'm just saying. He gets bigger. So, well, they said that frogs were like based on value or something over time. You like roll your frog over into a IRA. Oh yeah, they got to read the flavor text. There is no path to the Roots Maze Center. Bard, sing a song while I create one. He's boisterous. I just noticed the little squirrel underneath the bunny too. My God. You know, I didn't read the flavor text on you. You don't got no flavor text, man. Oh, is that a squirrel warlock? Osteomancer, boys. You got to check your like calcium content. Adept. It reminds me of Temporal Adept, a card I used to love back in Urza's Destiny when I was a sinful blue player in my past. Death Touch is great because if that little squirrel deals damage to any creature, it dies. Like, what if it's indestructible? I'm like, well, it dies inside. A finality counter. If a permanent with a finality counter on it would go to a graveyard from the battlefield, exile it instead. Okay. I'm reading ahead. I can't make my mouse cursor not be in the way. Is there a way to do that? There's not. This is just the interface. Mark Rosewater wanted it to be this way. If we were to tap this Squirrel Warlock, until end of turn, you may cast creature spells from your graveyard by foraging in addition to paying their cost. If you cast a spell this way, that creature entered... Okay, so they'll be exiled. To forage, exile 3 cards from your graveyard or sacrifice a food. So, I know there was a set based around like Grimm's Fairy Tales, and they introduced food tokens that are like artifacts. Food is kind of like an artifact when you think about it, because you could, you know, discover a lot about a culture based on what kind of food they had and prepared and such. Well, anyway, look at this sick-ass little squirrel summoning probably like a possum or raccoon or something skeleton, son. Oh, if only you had flavor text, buddy. If only you had flavor text. All right, we got a frog druid. Vigilance. Clement the Worrywart. Legendary creature. He looks kind of worried. They did a good job of giving him an existential stare as he water bends. Vigilance, of course. Whenever Clement the Worrywart or another creature you control enters where? Return up to one target creature you control with lesser mana value to its owner's hand. Oh yeah, they said the frogs were about bouncing your creatures. I guess that's so you can trigger more come into play effects, or if they're going to die. Frogs you control, so he gives all frogs power. Have tap to add green or blue, spend this to cast only creature. There's mana ramping too, boys. But if we wanted to use him, we'd have to play blue and green, and it just feels bad. You take a cool color like green and you send it up. Okay. Whew. No, I want to save the best for last, so we're going clockwise. Valley Floodcaller, another Otter Wizard. So this Otter Wizard has Flash, which I know means you can cast him basically like an instant spell. So when your opponent's like, oh, you have no creatures in play, I'll attack with my 1/1, making me the victor. Boys, Otter, throw him down. You may cast non-creature spells as though they had Flash. So that means all your sorceries and like artifacts and shit, you could just flash them out there. This seems really good for a generic ass Otter Wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, birds, frogs, otters, and rats you control. I like that. You slip them rats in there. Get +1/+1 until a turn and untap them. I mean, if you're going to build a deck around otters and frogs and rats and birds, you can't do much worse. Look at this little mouse warrior with their flaming sword and their little magic staff standing on a pile of slain foes as a snake slithers about them in the briars. Boys, that's epic. My God. Why couldn't magic have always been this good? Okay, what does the Emberheart Challenger got, the little mouse warrior? Well, he's got haste, which means he's unaffected by summoning sickness. And he's got prowess, which we've recently learned is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, he gets +1/+1. He'd go good with this little feller. What else do you do, buddy? Valiant. Valiant? Whenever Emberheart Challenger becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, exile the top card of your library, and until end of turn, you can play that card. So if you can throw some buffs on him, son, you have to throw away the top card of your library, but if it's something you can use right then, boys, that's good. That's good, but it's my only red one so far. And then, of course, we've got Vryn the Relentless. First of all, I see that what something you do generates a rat creature token, boys, and that's a lot of value, son. I'm getting pulled. The rats might have sunk their cute teeth into me, son. Okay, what do you do, Vryn the Relentless? You cost 4 mana, so it better be good. Legendary creature, Rat Rogue. I'm sold. You had me at rat. You had me at rat. Ward 2. Let's see, what could Ward do? It's like reading House of Leaves. Whenever a permanent with Ward becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays the Ward cost. Oh, so he has like built-in counter spell protection. And if anything, if the enemy player, the opponent, I think they're known as in some culture, is like, I'm going to use this here lightning helix that I snuck into this Bloomburrow sealed tournament and destroy your rat rogue, I declare. They got to pay 2 more mana, basically, is what it seems to be, to not have the spell counter. Okay. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead, son. You don't even get to bury your dead when Vryn the Relentless shows up. There's not going to be anything left. Look at that, like, Butcher's Cleaver, that Dark Souls ass Mildred, the bag-headed woman running through Blighttown Swamp. Butcher's Cleaver, son. Just chop them into such meat that they can't go to the graveyard. Okay, the beginning of each end step. So that doesn't say yours. So that means you and your opponent. Create X11 black rat creature tokens with this creature gets +1/+1 for each other rat you control, where X is the number of creatures your opponents controlled that were exiled this turn. Okay, so the more your opponent's creatures you can kill and chop them away from the graveyard with Vryn the Relentless, the more rats you get. And look at that cool ass rat token. My God. My God, I don't care what else is in the deck. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to play black and blue because I don't know how I could say no to Vryn. They're so relentless. How could I say no? How could I ever say no? All right, after a brief pause, I'm finally ready to look at what is next in our deck. Are they going to show us all the uncommons next? Oh, you know what? I just realized you're a mythic as well. I guess that's supposed to mean you're real good. If there's any keys to Otterball, is that Blitzball? Do you have Blitzball playing otters? I didn't even notice the first time. I didn't even notice. I'm going back to the rats. Ooh, I could slide this squirrel into a rat deck, boys. I could even slide this fella in there. He even helps rats. Whew, boys. Oh, but I might have splash red. Might have to splash red. All right, show me the good stuff. Look at all this good stuff. Oh, no, this is just the rest of the cards, including the ones we just saw. All right, I guess we'll go through them in order. We ended up with 8 white cards. Brave Kin Dono. Look at that little bunny and that little mouse. Let's see. The creature rabbit mouse, the two of them together are one creature, and they're still a 1/1. How? It's so symbiotic. Target creature you control gets +1/+2 in the turn. Activate only so you can't do it as a combat trick, and it costs a mana. Did you bring everything you need for the journey? The rabbit asked. Of course I did. I brought you, my dear Pinecone. The mouse replied, oh my. Oh my, it got real intimate there towards the end. That's a good filler white card if you're making a white deck. Flowerfoot Sword Master. A 1/2 for 1. Creature Mouse Soldier. Look at him lunging across the sunflowers with a beetle bug in the background. Offspring. You may pay an additional 2 as you cast a spell if you do. So they literally based like the little critters around reproductive strategies. Mass reproductive strategies, son. It's so true to life. Okay. So if you pay 3 mana, you get 2 creatures, boys. And they're both mouse soldiers. All right. You've got Valiant. Whenever it's creature. Okay. So Valiant must mean, because I'm not getting a little box over there like I am Offspring. So I guess Valiant, is that something they invented for this set? Sorry, my confusion gave me glottal air. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, mice you control get +1/+6 so they become more emboldened. And what does the Flowerfoot Swordmaster's Offspring do? Oh, it has the same Valiant effect. It's just a 1/1 instead of a 1/2. I see. You know, I just noticed the set icon is like a maple leaf, son. Does Bloomburrow take place in Canada? Boys, the Northwest Territories. Nova Scotia. Or maybe that land that was newly found. I don't remember what they called it. Builder's Talent. So this is a saga, I think they were called. Right? Where, oh no, or is this something different? I guess we could read the card. Okay, I see a little bird with a hat and a backpack, so you know that they're sapient in some manner. And they're building a nest, I suppose, out of materials that they've found. Gain the next level as a sorcery to add its ability. So does that mean you have to keep enchantment class? I'm so confused. We'll figure it out. When Builder's Talent, create a 0/4. Okay, so you get that wall, which is like a bird's nest. I guess if like little mouses and rats and frogs are coming at you with like thimbles and safety pins, although those things wouldn't exist in this blessed non-human blighted world, then I guess a bird's nest type wall could stop them. So as long as they didn't have some sort of fire. All right, the level 2. Whenever one or more non-creature, non-land permanents you control enter, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. That seems nice. So is it, if you cast it for 2 mana, do you just get that first ability? Okay, and then if you pay a white mana, whenever you could cast a sorcery, so during one of your main phases, you upgrade it, and then if you could dump 5 mana to it. So it's like an enchantment that you build over time. I'm learning. When this class becomes level 3, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. So you get to resurrect. Your wall is so good. Why are you telling me what double strike is? Nothing on this card it indicates double strike, does it? I know that double strike is you hit them first strike before they can hit you, and then you hit each other at the same time. Nettle Guard, Mouse Soldier. Look at that cool-ass mouse spear. And they've got, like, Firefly, like, familiars, son. And it's a 3/1. That mouse is all offense, son. Creature Mouse Soldier, Valiant. When Nettle Guard becomes target spell ability, you control first time each turn. It gets +0/+2. Okay, so if you throw a buff on it, it also becomes hardier. And it has built-in disenchant. You can sacrifice that little mouse. That little mouse does like a jump attack, like a dragoon. So the first mention of the dragoon job class from Final Fantasy in this episode. So unmark it. Okay, cool. A very flavorful card. Parting Guest. So there's another bunny and mouse. I see a fish, I've recently learned. Gift a tapped fish. Exile target non-creature token. If the gift wasn't promised, return that creature to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter. At the end of the, you may promise an opponent a gift as you cast a spell. If you do, they create a tapped fish token before its other effects. So I guess that means you can cast the spell. Like if you needed to return, you needed to exile like one of their creatures is about to kill you or do something, or is going to block your attacker. If you give them a fish, it's gone forever. But if you don't give them a fish, it comes back stronger. That's an interesting idea. I feel like these cards should have more flavor text. We'll just have to say, are you this same crowd? I don't believe you are. I believe it's a different bunny and a different mouse. Intrepid Rabbit. He looks intrepid. I mean, it's got offspring. Okay, Rabbit Soldier. When this creature enters, target creature controls its +1/+1 to its turn. So, I guess it could target itself, although it has summoning sickness. Oh, and if you pay the offspring cost, you get a 1/1 that does the same thing. So that's like you could throw out some double buffs as well. Son, how intrepid. The Thistledown Players. Is that like a performing troupe of mices, I believe? It's a mouse bard. I finally looked. Tenfei, his eyes open. Whenever Thistledown Players attacks, untap target non-land permanent. So if you got you like one of these other cards that you tap to do things that untaps, so you're like, thanks, Uncle Tenfei. I couldn't have figured that out. In hand, a sword to slay the frightful beast. In heart, these words to soothe our frightened kin. Sun Lily and the Ember Seed. I guess that's like a play they're putting on or something. That's a lovable fucking crowd right there, boys. Pulling me towards playing white. Oh, I guess I've got two of them. I just noticed. The diamonds. Boys. The diamond. And it's a 3/3, which, well, I guess it's a group of them is why they're tougher than this individual soldier. Bird Scout. Pilated Provisioner. Pilated. Peel-eated Provisioner. Flying. If you didn't know, flying means that if their blockers don't have flying, they can't block it. And it can block things with flying. Okay, so it looks like from the picture, this bird flies around with a bunch of little mouse swords and gives the little mouses swords. The mouse sword lord. All right, and when it enters, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control without flying. So he buffs them. So it's flavorful. He's flying in and buffing one of your little mices, or, you know, if you've got like rats or frogs, I guess, and handing them a sword so they get +1/+1, boys. Aerial supporters train for years to make sure the weapons they drop land in the hands of mice and not on their heads. It must take a while. They must give them like little wooden swords, little twig swords. I feel like they wouldn't have much mass. All right, well, we've hit blue. Shore Up. I like that it's a cool rat deflecting with cool rat magic. Remember, black and blue. We're having to keep our eyes on blue because we have a certain relentless rat rogue. Rat rogue, Shaggy. Like Zoic Scoob. Like, don't worry, when you're dealt lethal combat damage, you'll like go to the graveyard and I can resurrect you. Maraki. It's a relentless rat rogue. I'll be exiled. Exiled Zoinks. This is the point I think anyone who's clicking on this because it's a Magic the Gathering video and it has no idea who Tidfay is has left. And I don't blame you. I genuinely don't. All right, it's an instant for 1 blue. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof and you untap it. My God, the value. Is that all you've got? Put some muscle into it. He's using like muscles as a shield. That's amazing. Thank you, Raph Lomatan, for that super cool rat mage, son. You've done my heart good. And then there's this otter wizard. I mean, if we're going to play black and blue, we can put them in the deck. Blitzball, son. The Luca goers won't know what's happening. Look at this rat rogue, the thought shucker. I guess he likes clams and oysters and thoughts. Another rat rogue. Racky. We're overrun with rat rogues. Threshold. Put a +1/+1 counter on Thought Shucker and draw a card. Activate only if... Okay, I remember Threshold was back when I still played Magic 100 years ago, like 20 years ago. Because, yeah, you have to have 7 or more cards in your discard pile. And if you're playing blue and black, you have a tendency to go through your deck and be killing creatures left and right, son. Okay, so if you've got Threshold, you can just pump this rat. Pump up the rat. Okay, many rats have found their minds while lost in the mud-slick gyre of a snail shell. They must like escargot. Look at that cool little sword on the rat's hip. The rat's also missing a toe on its right foot. Son, you thought I wouldn't notice? He's also got cool goggles. Cool goggles, mouse rat rogue. Another rat rogue. You're killing me. The Night World Hermit. So the rats like live amongst the mussels and mollusks and shellfish, son. It's like a symbiotic relationship. I just noticed he has a hollow Ichigo mask on him, son. He's going to unleash his Bankai, the Black Tetsugo, or whatever he called that move. Okay, Vigilance. We know that is already because Miri Cat Warrior, who counts as a Cat Warrior, doesn't attack when she attacks. Threshold is... he becomes stronger and can't be blocked, boys. He etches his secrets onto the shimmering shells of mussels, saving them to share with the great snail. There's like some kind of bloodborne like hidden in there, talking about these secret powerful mollusks. Earl of Wisdom. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control an otter. Draw 2 cards. I mean, it's not bad value if you have an otter in play. It's either an otter or either it ain't. And I got 2 of them. Otterfolk divers compete to bring up the biggest, purest pearls they can find. Story elemental magic in them is a bonus. I guess I like when flavor text has got a twist. That's just like teaching me about the world. That's just making the world more flavorful. Okay, here's our boy. The rare otter wizard. I mean, we're going to have to put these otters in our rat deck. I see a rat otter. Spoiler, don't look at the bottom. I'm holding my hand up. I see a rat otter. What do you do? Dire downdraft. So it's a bird getting struck by lightning. Looks like a seagull or something, and they seem quite shocked in more ways than one. 4 mana instance. This better be some good text in that box. This spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets an attacking or tapped creature. Okay, well, there's a little bit. Target creature's owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library. Okay, so that's you can use that, you know, against your foe. If a big monster or something's coming to slap you upside the head, you can be like, I've got secret seagull lightning. But they could just put it back on top of their deck if they want to redraw it, or put it on the bottom if they don't want it anymore. But you can use it on your own creatures, like if a good creature's about to die or has a good come into play effect, or you just want them on the bottom of your library for some reason. Look at all this strategy I'm teaching you as I relearn the game. Quick Wing. Look, we've got a named character that we don't know yet. Quick Wing's elite flyers were more than capable of navigating ordinary storms, but Dragonhawk's storms were anything but ordinary. Now, is Dragonhawk like a location? Is Quickwing a location? Or is that like a Darkwing Duck reference? I guess we'll find out eventually. After this sealed thing, I'm going to have to like look up the actual story of the game. Okay, let's see our rat otter. They're such good friends as they ponder the orb, son. You love to see it. Prowess. We know what that is because it says it right there. When they enter, you surveil. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, put any number of them into your graveyard. Okay. I'm vaguely aware of surveil. We didn't used to call it that back in the day. We used to call it just whatever that text is written out across the card. Lightning and snail is one, cried the rat. It's so beautiful, the otter gasped in awe. It's an expensive but fairly meaty creature, I guess because there's 2 of them, just like Abdi and Abby's sister. All right, the Spell Gyre. The Spell Gear. Instant for 4 mana. Choose 1. Counter target spell, surveil 2, then draw 2 cards. Okay, that's really good if you have 4 mana. Counter spells. God, it would hurt my heart. That's an expensive counter spell too, so you probably aren't going to use it for that unless things are serious. The secondary effect is nice because it helps you burn through your deck when you've got enough mana to cast it. It's something to think about. It's also a non-creature spell, so when you have prowess, remember that. The Calamitous Tide. There's like a Leviathan hidden there. Of course, they're little mouse folks, so like a barracuda or something would be like a Leviathan to them. 6 mana sorcery. Okay, there's got to be. I haven't looked at the text box yet, but I'm expecting something good. Return up to 2 target creature cards to their owner's hands. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. I mean, a lot does happen for 6 mana, but I mean, maybe it could win you a game under certain circumstances. I think you can say that about any Magic card. A crab. I didn't expect the crab. He's a giant enemy crab, which means he's a normal size crab to a human. The elemental crab. He's got crabomancy. Oh, he's one of them super long arm spidery crabs too, boys. Extra adept at pinching you on the cheek of the ass. And if you're like a cute little mouse boy, that'll cut you in half. 7 mana. My God. Oh, he does have flash. Boys, if you're saving up 7 mana on your opponent's turn to flash this crab into play. Oh, okay. Something makes him cost less. I guess I should have read more of the card. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Oh, so if you've been playing instants and sorceries the whole game, left and right, wheeling and dealing, son, you can hit for 2 mana. A 2 mana crab monstrosity. Eddie Burke Crab enters tapped if it's not your turn. Oh, you can't make him a surprise blocker. Man. Oh, when he enters, tap up to 2 target creatures. So you could play him on your turn. Or you could play him during like your opponent's main phase before combat. So you like tap 2 of his creatures or something. He got options. He's got crab options. There's no room for flavor text though. Also, I want to point out the little cute mice like riverboats, son. It's too much. I see a whirlpool or a jetty in front of them too. It's a lot to take in. And Pendersky was the artist. Pendersky. Hey, look, we found a land. Mudflat Village. You can just tap it if you want a colorless mana. You can tap it for a swamp, but you can only cast creature spells. And you can sacrifice it with a little bit of mana and get you a bat, lizard, rat, or squirrel, boys. Throw that in this deck, son, and my rats will never die. Dead I am the rat, feast upon the cat. Tender is the fur, dying as you purr. Oh, we're in black. We only got a couple, 2, 3 black cards. Ruthless Negotiation. That ferret is not giving that otter much choice. Also, they're trapped in like some sort of strange realm of artistic skulls. They might be tripping balls. All right, 1 black mana. Sorcery. Target opponent exiles a card from their hand. If the spell was cast from a graveyard, draw a card. And you flashback. Okay, I remember that from back when I used to play Magic. So it gives you 1 more chance to cast a spell from your graveyard at a much higher cost, but it gives you an additional effect. Next time you come this way, do us both a favor and have something worth stealing. Yeah. I'm assuming the ferret is saying that to the raccoon just based on the raccoon's facial expression, although raccoons are clearly stereotyped as bandits, son. Just look at Sly Cooper. Just look at Sly Cooper, son. Are there going to be foxes in this set? I bet they're red. I bet they're red boxes. They might be green. They could be green. There's our Squirrel Warlock, boys. Hell yeah. Not much more to say. I do still love the art. Still cool art. It's like the yellow dart when Strongbad helped him write his English paper. That cool nickname kept getting him bonus points. Dire sight. That frog sees the apocalypse. The wolf, fox head, canid head apocalypse. Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards. You lose 2 life. Since it's a black card, you've usually got to give up some of your life force for your frogomancy. There's a fine line between predicting the future and causing it. Well, I mean, technically everything you're doing is causing the future, or at least your personal future. I mean, when you think about it, you know, this or that. You get a lot of these philosophical things when you start playing black Magic the Gathering cards. Nocturnal hunger. I see food. Squirrels love food. You would go good with my squirrel, who loves food. Who knew? Nocturnal hunger. Instant. Gift of food. Destroy target. Oh no, you create food for others. Destroy target creature. If the gift wasn't promised, you lose 2 life. Well, that's not that bad. And you need removal in limited. In a limited format, removal is very important. The more cards you have that they play some bullshit creature that does a bunch of shit you don't care for, and you can obliterate them and be like, here, have some quiche, have a tart. You know what? Instead, I'll just stab myself twice so you can't have nothing. I'd throw the quiche in the garbage. Even I don't want it. I just didn't want you to have it. The picture is like some flowers. Is there like a cute little mouse sleeping in the middle? What is... I can't quite tell what's happening. It's very artistic. All right, the Starlit Soothsayer. A bat cleric. Flying. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, Surveil 1. It's a good thing if you've got bat clerics. I like that they're doing the thing where the bat's hands are the little claspy part at the end of their wings. Like when the gargoyles from Disney's Gargoyles like close their wings like a cloak and their little hands grasp. The lunar paean is upon us. Let us turn to our ancestors for guidance and look to our children for hope. Boys, that's so responsible, son. Take the wisdom of the past and the hope, or the... what's the word I'm looking for? We'll get there. We'll get there. The hope of the future, son. The potential. That's the word I was looking for. I remembered it finally. Hazel's Nocturne. I see like squirrels made of leaves. Squirrel of Leaves is the spin-off of House of Leaves, where instead of the Navison family, it's like a cute little family of squirrels that lived in the attic of the Navison's house, son, and they got into their own little adventures. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. A win-win. And you could do it at the end of their turn if you manage to leave 4 mana open. And then you'll have creatures to cast and life to do things with, especially if you denied them food. On stormy autumn days, the leaves in the trees chitter and whisper. It's like the spirit of the squirrel still lives in the trees and can take on like a golem-esque form of leaves. So, and I like that art. Dominique Mayer doing a good job. Stargaze. That bat is tripping balls, man. That should be I haven't read the flavor text yet, but if it's not, man, that bat's tripping balls, then they didn't do it right. All right, this is an X costing spell, so you could pump as much mana as you want into the X part of the cast. You could technically cast it for 2 black, and it probably just wouldn't do nothing. Look at twice X cards from the top of your library. Put X cards from among them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. You lose X life. Wow. That's some powerful card draw, son. You just got to, if you're willing, that's the thing when you play black and Magic the Gathering, you've got to be willing to make these sacrifices for power. Oh God. Just saying it, glottal error still overwhelms me. Some back folk dedicated their lives to seeing the world beyond them. Warian, Scholar of the Cosmos. Is that you? Tripping balls in the picture? Son, he got into the good shit, son. He's going to be on the Joe Rogan podcast before you know it. Serena Malion knows how to draw a bat tripping balls. All right, we're into red, and right to start with, we got this lizard. He doesn't even look like a lizard folk. It's just like you took one of them kimono dragons and just put like some ornaments on him and posed him with a little stone hammer in his hand. All right, what do you start with? Whenever Blacksmith's Talent enters, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Sword. I love it. Very straightforward. With equipped creature gets +1/+1. It's just like the birds flying in the little mouse swords, son. So equipment is an artifact, and when you pay the equip cost, you attach it to a creature, and they get that effect. And if the creature like dies or something, then the artifact is just unequipped. And I think you could pay the equip cost to move it as well, but probably as a sorcerer. Oh, I just looked to the left of the card and saw that, yes, it's as a sorcery. All right, if you pump this up to level 2, at the beginning of combat on your turn, each target equipment you control, you can attach your equipments for free at the beginning of combat. That's cool. And then the final level, during your turn, equipped creatures you control have double strike and haste. So that means you could play a non-hasted summon and sickness riddled big-ass creature in play. At the start of combat, take this sword from whoever's holding it and give it to them, and then they'll have double strike and haste, boys. It's powerful, but you got to be able to get her done. You got to live that long. That mouse is balls to the walls. War squeak. Enchantment. So an enchantment attaches to a creature and gives them abilities. Now, if a creature dies with an enchantment on them, generally it goes to the graveyard as well. Enchant creature. When War squeak enters, target creature and opponent controls can't block this turn. Okay, and it gives them +1/+1 until and haste. Okay, so that's a good kind of pre-combat trick. Like if they've only got one good blocker, you could get somebody in there. Dangers sharp. Wow, I can't believe I'm having this much trouble. Dangers sharper than thorns can hide among the flowers, son. A cornered mouse is more dangerous than a jackal, son. What say you, raccoon rogue, you lovable scamp? A brazen collector. Yeah, it's like that raccoon in that video you see where it's like in a garage and a guy has a bowl of cat food with a bunch of cats around it. And it's like in the middle of a neighborhood and the raccoon just picks up a handful of food, looks at the guy and hops away on his hind feet. That would be this brazen collector. Raccoon rogue. Boys, if we splashed red into our rat rogue deck, we could have even more rogues. First strike is good because if their creature has 2 or less toughness, then he just hits them and kills them. Whenever Brazen Collector attacks, you get to add a red mana. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as it steps in. So you get a permanent extra red mana every turn that he attacks. That's pretty cool. Red mana acceleration. You don't usually see that because red is the color that if you get a lot of mana early, you make it a problem for people. Okay, there's our mouse warrior. Would this mouse warrior team up with our rat rogue? That's the thing. That's the thing. I'd like to think so. They'd start out, you know, they'd have like a fight. It's like every cliche story where like the two heroes, quote unquote, meet up. They've got to like have a disagreement and fight. And then they become good friends. Playful shove. I don't know if a rabbit quavering palm a mouse into oblivion can be considered. I like that we're seeing it post shove, but the mouse has been shoved with such force that it like maintained the way it was setting. Sorcery. Playful shove deals 1 damage to any target. Draw a card. That's very straightforward. The boisterous pat on the back was painful, but not nearly as painful as the joke that inspired it. So he told like a knee slapper and just slapped that mouse on the back. That's one of the dangers of hanging out with cute little mices. Cute little mouses. Cute little mosaics. Son, Zoltan Boros did a good job. Look at this raccoon bard blowing corn through that horn, son. And I see like a raccoon dragoon in the background jumping away. That's 10 out of 10 artwork right there, boys. The raccoon rallier. Boys, oh God, I'm being pulled away from the rats. I'm being pulled away from the rats. I also like that their tail is enchanted. Okay, Raccoon Bard. Target creature you control gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So you can, every time you slap a creature in play, son, haste. Now remember, we had white mouse bards, so I wonder if the bard's subtype is kind of more geared towards red and white and Boros. Boros. Sorry, my lips got real dry. I used to play for family only until I realized I could spire an entire party with a single note, son. Doesn't even require a tune. It must be like a didgeridoo or something, or maybe it sounds like that throat singing. That's real inspirational. Son, Borgia Pendado. Son, that's 10 out of 10. I want a copy of that card in real life. This lizard warlock ain't having none of. He's one of them Jesus lizards that runs across the water. The Steam Path Charger. I guess he's Steam Path because he's so hot, 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 like the salamander girl from Ishizoku Reviewers, that you can cook your hibachi on her stomach. That he's just making that water boil as he runs across it, son. He's also got Offspring. When this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to target player. He just has such spite in his heart. I love it. And what is your Offspring has spite too. They're just a little smaller. But they're more fiery, son. They took after their mother, probably. She's on the fierier half of the family. Hot-footed and cold-blooded. Son, that's a good card. Isle Gort and Alex Stone. Oh, I like that they got 2 different artists to draw the token and the creature that makes it. Okay, that raccoon is very bold in his shamanistic dress. Oh, he's taking out the trash, and it's literal trash. I thought that would be treasure to a raccoon. Take out the trash, deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If you control a raccoon, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Okay, so that's card advantage. Disgusting, revolting, effective. That's the kind of magic you want when you're a raccoon. I see a mouse raccoon duo, and the artwork, I haven't even expanded it down there in the bottom left, but I am already so fucking hyped, boys. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Oh no, I added it to the deck by accident. Remove all these mountains. Spoilers. Spoilers. Okay, just scroll over it. Look at this duo, man. Is that the same? Is this the same mouse? Is this a character? Is this a character for me to adore? Also, the cool raccoon with like the arm extension that turns, or no, he's holding like a clawed mace or almost like a hatchet. Okay, you've got trample. Whenever you expend 4, you expend 4 as you spend your 4th total mana to cast spells this turn. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains trample. So if you're casting a big spell every turn, you can buff up your other creatures and give them trample. I mean, it could also buff itself, but it already has trample. On guard, you had adequate excuse for a foe. Challenge the mouse. Roar, roar, agreed the raccoon. It's like a raccoon berserker, son. My love for you is like a pile of garbage. Raccoon berserker. So let's go listen to El Dubarge. Raccoon berserker. It worked if you don't think about it. Look at this little mouse soldier and some sort of newt in the background. Bramble Guard Captain. You're a captain, little feller. I guess you are uncommon. Creature, mouse soldier. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +X/+0 to it. In a turn where X is his. Okay, so he like inspires your other creatures to be stronger. So if you buff this character up before combat starts, you can make another character more powerful as well. So they work together, these mice soldiers. Frog Druid. Can't be stopped. Sun Shower Druid. Try saying that 3 times fast. Creature, Fog Druid. A 0/2 for 1 green. When Sun Shower Druid enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control and you gain a life. So presumably he would put that on himself, you know, in most instances probably, which means you get a 1/3 that gives you a life for 1 green mana, and I've got 3 of them. My God. My God. My deck has pulling towards the frogs. No, I won't do it. All right, we already know about you. You don't play with rats. Oh, we got moles. 3 Tree Root Weaver. It's like Red Dead Revolver. Oh, it's mana ramp of any color. Let me drink some water real quick before I make my obvious joke. See if you can guess it while I'm drinking. More like Moles of Paradise. I knew you kids would get it. It's easy to find your way around the root maze if you know what to look, listen, smell, feel, and taste for. Son, use all of your senses if you're a mole druid. I don't see why you wouldn't. Son, you're just limiting yourself as a human. All right. What's this frog got going other than hypnotizing us? I like his sword is made out of some sort of... Oh, no, I see the blade. It's just got a defect going around it. He's got reach, so if a flying enemy, he can block them. He can block a flying creature, because I guess presumably it's saying his tongue shoots out far enough to hit flying creatures. When Sticky Tongue Sentinel enters, return up to one target permanent you control to its owner's hand, so he bounces something back into your hand as well. Victory doesn't have to be close for him to taste it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Polywallop. That's already... I see he's fighting a big, like, crab, too. He's a crab puncher. All right, instant for... okay, it costs less for each frog. So if you got 3 frogs in play, it's 1 green mana. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature you don't control. So they don't even fight. He just throws his big frog hands and knocks the shit out of them. We'll see who croaks first. Damn. It's a good combat trick if you got frogs to fund it. Frogs to Plowshire. Rush Shield Rampager. Raccoon Warrior. The raccoons are just like more feral beasts. I do enjoy the little rats, or excuse me, the little mices scurrying away. He's just covered in like brambles. Oh, and I just noticed in his alternate artwork, he became quite a bit anthropomorphic, son. Just saying. All right, he's got offspring. So I guess his offspring is more humanoid. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So little fellers hate him, son, because he's like an engine of death. Or he has a cool shield and is more of a cartoony art style. Steve Ellis, Ralph Horsley, which one do you prefer? I think they each have their pros and cons, although I'm leaning towards the one that's got cute little mices on it. I am a bit biased. Is that a frog rabbit? Did you crowd here a frog rabbit? Tree Guard Duo. Oh, I thought that rabbit was busting out a freestyle rhyme into a microphone, but I realized he's his other hand holding that sword that's going behind his back. That completely changes the tone of the picture. Creature, Frog Rabbit. When Tree Guard Duo enters, until end of turn, target creature you control gains vigilance and gets +X, where X is the number of creatures you control. I mean, that's good if you get them into play, son. And they get vigilance, which means attacking does not cause them to tap, just like Merry Cat Warrior, who counts as a cat warrior. You shall not pass, croaked the frog. Nor me, growled the rabbit. I probably could have done a better voice for that, but I'm just getting through this video, son. I'm just getting through this video. I might need one of them Ricola lozenges that this raccoon up in the Alps was blowing corn through a horn to get. You know, I think I will grab me one. Give me just a sec. Well, it turns out I was out of them. So I just had to get me some fresh, cold water. Fresh, cold water. As I'm drinking my water, my eyes may have rested very temporarily on a super cool rat warlock that might have changed everything. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've still got to see this elemental wolverine hive spine. So I guess it's like combined itself with a beehive or a wasp hive. That's terrifying. Creature, elemental wolverine. When hive spine wolverine enters, choose one. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. That's good. It fights target creature token. So if you're, happen to go up against somebody with a heavy token deck, you could do that. Or destroy target artifact or enchantment. So it has a built-in disenchant as well. That's kind of cool, if not horrifying. Son, the little mices. Lars Grant West knows how to invoke a nightmare. Unfortunately, no flavor text. I would have loved some flavor text. Summon Elemental Elk. The Galewind Moose. I think that's a Bloodborne boss. No, Elden Ring, excuse me. Okay, you got Flash, Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. You want any more keyword abilities there, buddy? 6 mana, 6/6 with all of those abilities. God. Remember Mercadian Masks? This card would have cost like 14 mana in Mercadian Mask. So basically, it's a big creature that you can play as an instance. It doesn't tap when it attacks. It can block flyers, and it has Trample. I guess I haven't explained Trample. If something blocks it and has less than 6 defense, which is the right number of the fraction at the bottom right of the card, the left is attack power, the right is defense, then any carryover damage would hit the player behind them. Why am I trying to explain Magic to you? Something has stirred the calamity beasts. Is that what this Galewind Moose is? And they are wreaking havoc. Anyone who wishes to help, come forth. Whether it's with your swords in the fight or your shovels in the field, join me. And we can't see who said that. So I guess it's just attributed to Anonymous. I got 2 of these damn things in my uncommon slots. Damn. Seapod Squire. That's a real fancy bird you got there with some sort of mandolin lute looking thing. So we're gotten to our multicolor cards. So that little split white-blue mana symbol in the top right means we could pay with either a white mana from a plains or a blue mana from an island, or, you know, anything else that produces mana. All right, whenever it attacks, target creature you control without flying gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So the birds are like support. If you think he's loud now, wait until he starts the battle song. Clement, the pessimistic adventurer. I believe we're familiar with them. So already the world building is paying off. All right, this is some sort of bat warlock. Star Seer Mentor. Flight and Vigilance, you love to see it. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, target opponent loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. So I guess the bats, kind of like vampires, are based around gaining life. Oh, gain or lost life. Son, that's real easy to do, especially if you got black in your deck. Or you just get the shit beat out of you a lot. But there you go. Each star is given a name befitting its grandeur. This one is called Orax, the Night Eater. I see some 13-year-old got the name that star. That one is called Blinky. I cut off the joke. I ruined the joke. All right. Oh, look at this. Super cool rat warlock. Oh my God, Becky, look at that rat warlock. They are so mind drill assailing right now. They must be some sealed deck Magic the Gathering players' almost favorite card that they've seen so far. All right, if we got Threshold, then this becomes a 5/5. And it has built-in Surveil. If you only kept your secret somewhere more secure than your delicate little skull. Son, that rat ain't pulling no punches. Tuan Jong Chu. I'm just going to assume I said that correctly. Because I said it with such reverence. Because that's such a cool design for a card. And then we got Vryn the Rentless. I don't see how we're not going to play at least a little blue-black to get Vryn the Relentless into the deck, son. It's got to be done. Here's another Otter Wizard. Stormcatch Mentor. Haste and Prowess. Makes your instance and sorceries cheaper. That's kind of a blue-red thing. Not much to say about the art. I think the otters might be my least favorite tribe visually so far. Hopefully Mr. Otter isn't watching. Because he's not being welcomed back. Speaking of which, here's a cool Otter Wizard. That's a cool design. I like your floppy hat. The Tempest Angler. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, +1/+1 counter, he just gets bigger. Casting lines or casting spells ain't no one better than me. Hot damn. Oh, I didn't read yours flavor text. Only novice mages burn their whiskers, so pay attention. There you go. Lizard Assassin. Holy shit, son. It's like the first black-red card we've come across. The Cindering Cutthroat. Cindering Cutthroat enters with a +1/+1 counter on it if an opponent lost life this turn. So after you've already hurt them, they'll come into play more powerful. And you can give them Menace, which means that at least 2 creatures have to block them. So that's pretty good. We don't play with fire. It is strictly business. I see. I see you're casting some sort of fire, but you've also got like a cool pointy triangle dagger that matches your cool mask. Another Squirrel Warlock. This one a bit less menacing than the other one. Or somehow more menacing now that I looked at it for a second. Now that I've looked at it for a second. Corpseberry Cultivator. Squirrel Warlock. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may forage. Whenever you forage, put a +1/+1 counter. Okay, so it just makes itself bigger. Okay, so forage is kind of goes against Threshold. So the squirrels and the rats because the rats seem to play more into Threshold, but if you're foraging cards out of your discard pile, you might lose Threshold, son. It's tough. You need Steven Steels to come sing a song about it when he's dueling the Caddy and Agi twins. A rat fruit grows from the corpses of Calamity Beast, with nectar the flavor of strength and skin as fragile as life. Okay, that doesn't really tell me much about it. All these metaphors. Son, is it salty or sweet, or what do you got going? Junk Blade Bruiser. I do like that the raccoons are the berserkers. I guess they're all rabid. Red and green is usually a pretty good combination, but I didn't get very many red and green in these packs, unfortunately. Well, I got a lot of green frogs, I guess. Junk Blade Bruiser. Trample. Whenever you expend 4, becomes more powerful. So you're going to want him in a deck where you got a lot of green mana generation and a little bit of red in there, and you can start casting big spells. Of course, he costs 5, so you've already got enough to expend 4 on your next turn. So there you go. Look at this super cool mouse mentor. Son, with the eyes of frenzy, son, from the Frenzied Village in Elden Ring. Seed Glaive, I'm just going to say Glaive. Seed Glaive Mentor. Creature Mouse Soldier. I see you're dueling a cute little mouse, but also a little squirrel, son. And you've got a sense of kinetic motion with like the smear frame that we're seeing in mid-combat. So that's some cool art. It's Vincent Christians. I think he just misspelled it and he didn't want to correct them. Vigilance and Haste, both things you love to see. Okay, and when it gets targeted, you can put a +1/+1 counter on it. Your riposte is good, yes, but how's your footwork, son? You learned how to parry, but do you know how to dodge roll? Son, do you know how to circle strafe and get them backstabs? Okay, this rabbit right here is not pleasant. Oh no, spoilers, I scrolled the wheel. I'm just going to come right out and say it. Look, that rabbit walking behind them looks so haggard and tired from having to deal with their bullshit all the time. Beauregard Mentor, Rabbit Soldier, Trample. Power toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. It's like a beast of burden. On your paws. I've been fighting in these fields for more seasons than you've had hot dinners. Yeah, you're real unpleasant. I'm glad I'm not going to be able to deck around you. Oh, there's Clement the Worrywart. He was that frog druid. That we already knew about. Uncharted Haven. Uncharted Haven enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color. Okay, that's mana fixing. So you give up having an additional mana on the turn you play it, but if you splashed like a third color in your deck, oh my, it'd be a good way to fix any situation you find yourself in. There are lands beyond Valley, Wild, Calamity Scarred, and Beautiful. Farfeather, Birdfolk Scout. Is that you in the picture there? There's like some trees burnt down, and then there's like some trees like frozen in the background. It's like an MMO. You walk 100 feet and you're in a completely different biome. The Fountainport Bell. When Fountainport Bell enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, then shuffle it and put that card on top. And then you could immediately sacrifice it when you need to draw a card. If you're desperate for a land, that's a way to get one. It's a way to... anything that helps you cycle the lands through your deck so you're not drawing them when you desperately need a spell, like on turn 5 or 6, can be a good thing. Fountainport's town crier once saved the townsfolk from predation by a rotten-mouthed viper with their only bell. Okay, so he's like the Paul Revere of frogs, except the British were a rotten-mouthed viper. They probably got called that at least once during the Revolutionary War. But, you know, everybody was kind of back-talking each other back then. Okay. Three-tree mascot. He's a shapeshifter. What is he? He's like Go-Go from Final Fantasy VI. He's changeling, so he's every creature type. I made a reference to that earlier. Add 1 mana of any color. Okay, and it does mana fixing as well. So since it's an artifact, you can put it in any deck because it's colorless. And it can help you fix your mana. We got another shapeshifter. It's like a squirrel golem, a wooden squirrel golem. Oh, did you have flavor text? Every paw and claw should be at the celebrations in Three Tree City. Even the float is smiling. Oh, so it's like they built a float and somehow I guess it came to life in the combat of the game. Valley Gazetteer. 4 acorn review. Oh, okay. 4 acorn review. I guess it's real clever. Okay, here's another shapeshifter. This one's got reach. Put target card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. So if you know you got a way to search your deck or shuffle your deck, you can use that to get stuff back. The farmers hide when it runs out of potatoes to harvest. Oh, so they've got this like automaton harvesting potatoes, but the moment there's no potatoes to satiate, it's like harvest lust. It turns onto the farmers and they have to flee, son. Destroyed by their own creation. The Patchwork Banner. As Patchwork Banner enters, choose a creature type, such as rat. Oh, it's, what was that card called? There was some banner or flag card back in the day that was an artifact, and you picked a creature type and it gave them +1/+1. Also, it does mana fixing. What a good card if you had a bunch of rats in your deck. Theoretically, of course. With thistle, quill, twig, and beak, the finest artisans of each animal folk society stitched unique quilts patched together as a symbol of harmony. I see. You could do a lot worse, son. And then there's the final card, the Starforged Sword. That Blue Jay is having a hell of a time carrying that thing across the ocean, boys. Even with his cool vest and scarf. Artifact equipment. Gift a tapped fish. He drops a fish off and is like, I'm going to take this sword. When Starforged Sword enters, if the gift was promised, attach Starforged Sword to target creature you control. So if you give your opponent a fish, you could just attach it for free. Oh, they get +3/+3 and lose flying. Boys, the flavor. The flavor. If a magic card can have proper flavor like that, you know they've done a good job. So Mark Rosewater patting himself on the back. Does he even still work at Wizards of the Coast? I have no idea. Okay, that's cool. Well, look at that. We spent well over an hour, I imagine, just looking at the cards. I guess we have to actually build a deck. Boys, the fun's over. We've got to get serious. All right, what are we starting with? Okay, first of all, you know I want Friend the Relentless. So if we were to build a deck around you, buddy boy. So we want blue and black. I mean, we could always make one of those colors the splash color, but our rats are in blue and black, and we want rats. So if we wanted to splash like red or green or white, you're like, yeah, any of the other 3 colors, whatever you want to make one up, purple and orange. Purple and orange. Okay. Creatures, each other rat you control. So yeah, the more rats we have, the better this is going to be. And as long as he's in play, anything we do to destroy our opponent's creatures exiles it. It doesn't have to just be him doing it. All right, well, let's look in blue and black and see what we're dealing with so far. Okay, you've got a cool... Let's start with creatures before I start putting cool cards in the deck just because I like their artwork. We know we want you, so we're going to want Threshold. So keep that in mind when we're putting spells in the deck. If there's things that make us discard cards like from our library into our graveyard, we'll get Threshold faster. We'll get Threshold faster. You're so cool, you have to be in my deck. You have to be in my deck. Also, the Rat Otters, we got 2 of them. Now, look, they cost 4 mana. You've got to do your mana curve, especially in Limited, because we're only going to have so many lands. And so we want, the more things we have that cost like 1 or 2 mana, 1, 2, or 3, the better we do, because otherwise we're going to end up with a starting hand where we can't play nothing for 2 or 3 turns, and that's not good. So we'll be indulgent and put them both in there, but we can make cuts as we need to. I don't see us using this crab. I'm just going to come right out and say it. I do like this Otter Wizard because he makes our rats better, and that's a good thing. I see the rat behind him on the lily pad with the bow and like the ninja hood sign, and it just warms my heart, even though I imagine it's probably rather cold and unpleasant on the ocean while you're doing your ottermancy. Non-creature spells as though they have flash. So that gives us incentive to put more sorceries and artifacts in the deck, potentially. Yeah, we'll throw you in there for now. Are we going to use you? Well, if nothing else, you're a 2-cost 1/3 with Vigilance and Prowess that can draw a card and discard a card to help us get Threshold faster. And if we can boost you up with other cards, we can copy any spell we play. So that's crazy if we can make it work. So yeah, we're going to put you in the deck. You're going in the deck, buddy boy. Do we want our Warlock Squirrel? Now, remember, his foraging ability is going to hurt our ability to get Threshold unless we have food somehow. And I don't believe we had anything that gave us food. I think our only card that involved food gave your opponent food as a gift. To end the turn, you may cast creature spells from your graveyard by foraging. I mean, it'd be good to get back a card we really need, like our Relentless Rat Rogue if something happened. If Shaggy and Scooby teamed up with the rest of Mysteries Incorporated and managed to take him down. I mean, if nothing else, it's a 2/2 with Death Touch. And we don't have to use its ability. It's just there if we need it. So for now, we'll put it in the deck. The Bat Cleric. It's good to have a flying creature evasion, an evasion skill. It doesn't really match the rest of the deck because you don't buff bats or clerics for that matter. We could put this bird in the deck because we have blue. So we'll technically have a secret white card in the deck, which means if we wanted to splash white to have some cute mouses, this is a good excuse. A 3/3 flyer for 4 mana. Tell you what, the first rough draft of our deck, we're just going to put all kinds of stuff in here. And like I said, we can weed through that later. Okay, we definitely want you. We definitely want you. You could technically be in the deck because I could use 2 black mana to cast you. But I don't really want you in the deck. Oh, we could have this cool lizard. We could have this cool wizard. I want this cool lizard. What about this otter wizard? If we're going to put a lot of non-creature spells in the deck, unfortunately in Limited, you can't really load up on instants and sorceries. You kind of need a lot of creatures because you're just going to be getting beat up otherwise. Can't put you in there because we're not red yet. And I think we're going to hold off on a Tempest Angler. Although, if you think about it, it is another creature for this character to buff. For that character to buff. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and anything with Surveil is good. Because you can put a card in your graveyard if you're like, oh, it's a land. Nobody wants lands. Nobody wants lands. Alright. As far as creatures of blue and black go, that's what we got. Now, if we want to be sneaky and cheeky and splash white or red, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Oh, there's so many cute mouses. Damn you. Cute mouses, damn you. Oh, and then there's that thing. Blighted. I like this one. Although, Valiant is not going to be as good in Limited because we're only going to have so many spells to cast on our own creatures each turn. I do like the fact that it has built-in Disenchant. It's a good sideboard card, which in Limited, anything you don't put in your deck is in your sideboard. So, that's a thing. You have good value with your Offspring, which costs colorless. So as long as we had 1 white mana and, 2 of any other, we could get us a couple of creatures, just saying. Mouse rabbits. Of course, the mouse bard. Always the mouse bard. Don't make me untap the mouse bard. And of course, this cool bird could go with our other cool bird. This is where we're getting to our high cost stuff, though, so you gotta be careful. What's over here in red that I love? Oh, could we do it? It'd be so indulgent to splash red into the deck just to have this mouse. I mean, we can kind of justify it by having this cool lizard. I snuck that cool lizard in there because I knew you wouldn't disagree, but that just gives me more leverage to get this cool mouse warrior. I I mean, haste and prowess is not bad. I'm just saying, not bad. A first striker. Oh, I do like War Squeak. I do like the Ricola Horn, giving me haste. This card is just good. That's just good value in a red card of a creature type. 3/2 Trampler. I could just build a deck based on the artwork I like the most, son. I'd probably do just as good. I'd probably do just as good as if I was trying really hard. We can't splash red and white, unfortunately. I mean, if you're trying to do more than 2 colors or 3 at the most in limited, son, you better have a lot of mana fixing. You better be fixing for a lot of mana. Of course, at this point, black is kind of our splash color. I just realized. I just realized. If we were to take you out of the deck, we could go blue and red and splash black. I'd hate to have Ren the Relentless, though, and no way to cast him. That'd be heartbreaking, boys. Heartbreaking. I just thought of it. Eats me up. But that's the price you pay sometimes. Now, if we're just splashing black, I'm not as interested in this squirrel, but I'm not disinterested. It's still a cool Warlock squirrel. I'm just saying, it's got a lot of pros, son. Just one con's not going to be enough to knock it out. I guess let's look at green as a joke. I actually have a lot of really good green cards. That's the heartbreaking part. Blue and green. Do we go Frog Rat? We could just cut out the otters. Cut out the otters and go Frog Rat. Nobody anticipated the Frog Rat. That's the problem. And you bounce creatures. The frogs tend to bounce creatures, right? Dude, so anything we have that has like a come into a play effect. Do we have anything that does that when it comes into play? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. Are we overcomplicating it? You got to keep into mind what is your deck's win condition? Like, what is your path to victory? Is it just putting a bunch of cool cards you like into the deck? Because even though I'll support that, it's probably not the most effective way to play. Don't forget we got our artifacts. We got us a nice land to mana fix. We got us this thing right here to mana fix and make our rats the big rats. I'm always a fan of the big rats. Oh, this is specifically multicolor cards. Multicolor cards. If we did do red and blue, we could use this here otter. I'm just saying, if we did, oh yeah, we could actually use our legendary frog druid if we did do green and blue. So you bounce. And it says up to 1 target, so you don't have to do it. And it does make our frogs mana ramp. Mana ramp is good. In limited, you can start casting your big cards. We would need card draw to take more advantage of it, which we've got Surveil, which is getting us Threshold. I can't tell if I'm overthinking things or not. If we're playing to win, it'd be hard not to go in here. Because didn't we have, yeah, we had Polywallop. That's a great, if you have a creature that's at least a little powerful, you can just Saki it to it, one of their creatures. Being able to block their flyers. Also raccoons. Also raccoons. This is a really good one casting card as well. Okay, let's say hypothetically, okay, we'd have to take you out. We could leave you in because you're blue. If we do blue and black, or blue and green, let's take you out. Let's say hypothetically we threw all of you in there. We got this guy. See, he doesn't help rats though. It hurts me, man. It hurts me. He doesn't get along with rats. I mean, he's a 1/1 for 1, if nothing else, depending on how many other frogs. If we could get him out before we start casting these guys. There's also this mana-fixing Mole Druid. Don't forget about the mana-fixing Mole Druid. We got 2 of these big damn things. That's a bomb. That's what you call a bomb in Limited. That's a card that if you manage to get this thing in play, you need to use it to win the game. Or else your opponent just has something that very easily counters it. Like a destroy target creature spell. Yeah, I don't... The forage and the threshold just counteract each other. How many frogs do we have total if we wanted to go heavy frog? Let's just add all frogs. So frogs and otters. Oh, he helps frogs. Okay, this is turning the tide. No pun intended. Now, this is just creatures, remember, where we've still got to go through magic. Well, I guess we'd want you in there. Potentially, we want some mana fixing. Let's put one of them in there to be indulgent. I mean, we're not... This isn't going to be the final deck. I'm just putting shit in here to start weeding out. It's a process. Are we go? I mean, I don't want to go into raccoons or wolverines. We've already got enough on our plate. We've already got enough on our plate. So I would want Polywallop. What would be the best spells we'd want if we're using these colors? This right here. This will help us get Threshold or counter a spell if we really need to. This, I mean, it's like the same mana cost as this big ass creature. if you manage to cast this, if you can cast a 6 cost sorcery in Limited, son, you're doing something. But it is really good. We're going to put it in here just because it's really good and we can very easily remove it. I mean, how many otters we got? What are we looking at over here, otter-wise? There's 1, 2. Is it just 2 otters? No, we got these as well. 3, 4. So 4. So, I mean, this would be really good if you got an otter in play. We'll just remove them later. I mean, this is good removal. It's very expensive. Unless they're attacking, of course. Yeah, just put it in there and... I mean... He's not as good. He's different than this moose. But the moose is loose. If you can get it into play. Okay, what kind of black magic we got? Remember, we're just splashing black. We got this right here. We can get a rat back. That's about the only benefit, which I mean is a good thing, but still, we'd mostly be using this for colorless mana or to cast our black creatures. So flashback has the downside of removing a card from your graveyard permanently if you use it. So that could, you know, put you behind on your threshold. But this is, it's like duress, except you don't get to pick the card. And the card is exiled as well. That could be a good thing. I don't know if we're splashing black. I don't want to put too many black, like, spells in here. So far, I don't consider this too much, because, I mean, we could use all blue to cast it. So we've got 1. Well, just 1. Just 1. This helps us get threshold. So I would be willing to put that in. This is removal. Removal is good and limited. Now, see, this is another card. See, it's squirrel themed, so it takes things out of our graveyard. Squirrels hate threshold. There's the tripping balls bat. Okay, this gets you threshold quick if you got the mana for it. Man, the deck became so much blacker than I expected. Also, yeah, way too many cards. You want to do like what, 18 lands and what, 22 other cards generally? Isn't that how you want to do Limited? So you can't be too greedy. Unfortunately, you can't let your paws be too greedy here in Limited. What were the white, like, non-creature cards? I mean, you can filter as well, but that's advanced. That's advanced filters. Yeah, as much as I like the cute little mouses, I can't see us really going white. Unless we like dedicated blue and white and then splashed black for our Relentless Rat. But we've got so many good green cards. We're so frog heavy, son. Have you guys heard about frogs? Have you heard the good word of frogs? We're going to want you when we start adding lands. I want this. How many rats we got? I mean, we could always use it to make our frogs bigger, although it'd make me very sad. Or even our otters if we had to. So we got 1 rat. 2 rats. I realized I weren't paying enough attention. 3, 4. 5, 6. I mean, not a terrible, and he makes rat tokens. Get that in my deck. I like the flavor of this sword. 4 mana. Now, most of our creatures don't have flying, so we don't really have to worry about that downside. And if we give them a fish, it immediately is attached. Okay, this helps us mana fix as well, and it counts as a rat because it's a changeling. We'll just throw them in there for a second. Remember, this thing helps us get the lands we need. And it, like, cantrips itself. So you play it, you immediately put a land on top of your library if you desperately need it. The problem is, if you draw this late in the game, it's not as useful. Because if you want to draw the card, you have to play it. And then you have to put a land on top of your deck so you know you're going to draw that land. So, yeah. Now, see, he's a squirrel construct, so he's taking cards out of our graveyard, son, hurting our threshold chances. So I'm not as into this guy right here. Yeah, this is super flavorful. Put it in there as a joke and then remove it later. And you're part of the lands, so I don't got to look at you. Okay. So far, so good. Now we have to start making choices. You can see our mana curve here. Son hanging out. Do I have any other avatars? I mean, it's not like I'd need one beyond a Johnny, unless they finally put Miri Cat Warrior or Ink Eye Servant of Oni into the game. But why would they do something like that? So most of our cards in our deck cost 3 mana. And we've got a lot of 4 costing, no 5, and 2 6s. So with our current setup, we're probably going to spend a lot of early turns not getting shit done. We are heavily creatures, though, and that's a good thing. I don't think I have any other card. Oh, I don't. What one could I unlock in playing this set? Is one of them a cool mouse or rat? No, of course not. Why would they ever give us a cool mouse or rat? We just get all this garbage. We just get whatever the hell this is. I'm mad. I made myself mad while I'm building my deck. Oh, look, it like breaks down your creature types. A lot of druids. Oh, we're so frog heavy. I don't want to be frog heavy. I want to be a rat boy. I want to be a rat. Now, this costs 2 black. So if we're only splashing black into the deck, it's going to be hard to cast in limited, unfortunately. We've only got so much mana fixing. I mean, we only need 1 black mana in play to cast most of our black cards. But this thing would be so good in certain situations. You're like, isn't that almost every Magic the Gathering card, Uncle Tempe? My God. All right, this is non-negotiable staying in the deck because the artwork is so cool, son. If we're going to have frogs, I mean, I like that you buff other cards. Remember, you could use them to buff our Super Otter to get them up to the point where we can use their ability. So that's cool. They kind of go together. This frog right here, I mean, we've got so many other frogs in the deck that it could work out. I mean, at the worst, it's a 1/1 for 1. Is it better than another Sunshower Druid if we had the option? That's what you got to think to yourself. All right, we're leaving you for now. You're staying in the deck. You're a rat, so you're grandfathered in. See, here's some of that mana fixing that's really useful. And I mean, it is a 1/3, so it makes a good early blocker if you get it in an early hand. So this, like, corrects your mana because you're spending 1 mana. Like, if we desperately need a black mana, we can spend 1 blue or 1 green Again, about you're like, I understand what it means, Uncle Tiffany. My God. And I like that it's changed. Oh yeah, that's changeling. That means that's 2 rats and 2 frogs and 2 otters. Yeah, we should probably leave both of them in there. Just saying. Oh, that cool rat rogue. That cool rat. It's hard to pick who's looks. Are you that same rogue that's in that picture? It might be. It might be the same rat with the Ichigo mask, son. Nezumi Hollow. I mean, how many otters we got? Show me my stats again. 4 and 2 changelings, 2 shapes. So we got 6 otters total. We're gonna take at least one of these out. Let's just take them both out. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Okay, this is good once again because it buffs all of our creature type. We even have at least 1 bird so far. I just remembered. So this is a really good card. I wish we'd had... Well, I say I wish we had more of them, but it is one of our rares. Dire Sight. Gets us... Okay, yeah, we want this creature removal. Getting 3 of these, and we're going to have black in the deck. There's no excuse not to have them. Because you know that our opponents are going to have all kinds of creatures that we don't want around. This guy right here. This guy right here. 3/3 for 3 with reach. Bounce up to 1. Okay, so once again, you don't have to use the bounce effect to return a creature. Do we have any? Okay, if we return one of these, we can get its ability again. So they go together really good. I'm going to leave both of them for now. Clement the Worrywart. He's another bouncer, so he can bounce those frogs. I mean, he does mana, and he's a legendary frog druid, and we're playing blue and green. There's no way we can justify not having this damn frog in the deck. It's so good. This is not as good as our kill spell, which is also an instant. The only pro to it is if they're attacking. We could also use it to block, and then before damage is assigned, we can bounce our creature. So that's a possibility. That's an expensive card. Get out of my deck. Okay, we gotta have the rat otters. We gotta have my rat otters. Corn pops. It's an expensive counterspell, son, but I mean, like all Magic cards, there's a certain circumstances where it could be a hashtag game changer. Plus, the secondary effect gets us 2 more cards towards threshold potentially, and we draw 2 cards. I'm going to leave it in indulgently. This is really good removal, and it's cheap with more frogs in play, and we're going to tend to have some low-level frogs in play. So and plus I just like the artwork. It's just a frog making his hand real big to punch a crab monster, which is just a normal crab. I need to emphasize. Frog Rabbit. So your main thing, okay, this is another creature that if we bounced it, we could get its effect more often, but it does cost 4 mana. If it had an effect that made it cost less, it would be a lot more, I'd consider it a lot more for the deck. I mean, we have a couple of flying creatures, right? We have at least 1 bird. I thought I saw a bird. This thing right here next to it, yeah. So technically, it could like be a way to cinch it. Plus, we've got all kinds of good stuff. I'm trying to justify having this frog rabbit. And vigilance. Oh, so is it telling us about vigilance? Oh, okay, they gain vigilance. Okay, I'm overthinking things. I mean, this is a good card. It's a solid card. I'm not taking this card out of the deck, and I'm not taking Preamble out of the deck. No, sir. Not without my cute rats. This is indulgent right here, boys. I gotta tell you. It's hard to justify keeping this in the deck, despite how much I love the thought of a blue jay flying down and giving you a fish, and then trying to drag a heavy-ass sword away with its little flappy wings while it wears a scarf and a vest, son. It does my heart such good. I can't justify it. It hurts. This is a ridiculous spell we're never going to get to cast. I almost kind of want to leave this moose in here because they would never expect it. They'd be like, this guy's got like all kinds of frogs and rats, some otters too, but I got him pegged. I got him pegged, see? Yeah. And then this damn moose comes in, flash, vigilance, reach, trample. If I had a way to give it haste, if I had war squeak. Oh, man. Oh, man. No, we can't do it. We can't do it. Well, this means everything in our deck costs 4 or less, X notwithstanding. So we're doing a little better. We're doing a little better. We're still going to have to cut a couple of things. Still going to have to cut a couple of things. How can you not love a bat tripping balls? This has the potential to set in our hand for like a whole game and not be that useful. Plus, even if we do get to cast it for big cash money, we lose that much life. So let's say ideally we could cast this for like 3 mana. We get to 6 cards and we pick 3. That's really good. It's such a good card, potentially. Damn you, Richard Garfield. I'm cutting him. I'm cutting that frog. Can't stop me. I got to do it before I have a chance to think about it. But I just had to cut that frog. This card is so good for our deck to get us what we want. I just don't want to cut it. Plus, it gets through our deck quicker because we draw a card. It's card advantage, you see. I'm keeping all 3 of them. Do we want both of you? Okay. We're doing... I know we could always have more than 40 cards if we can't cut enough, but the more you go over 40 in a limited thing, like, you're not doing too good because it means you've got too much shit you don't need in your deck. Not that I'm highlighting anything that might meet that criteria. It means your paws are a bit too greedy. Honestly, this is probably something we should cut, even though I really don't want to. I'm just cutting you. I'm not even going to think about it. Why is it got to be such good card advantage? So mana fixing, and you don't even have to like spend mana after you casted it. You could even use it on the turn you cast it to get a mana back. So it technically only costs 2. Son, you're technically making a mana by casting it. What's it gonna take? Get this patchwork banner in your limited deck day. None of the rats are negotiable, by the way. We're not even considering. You are really good in certain circumstances. I mean, it's going to help us get this stuff out faster. Should we take one of these out? You're like, yeah, take out one of your 1 casting cards, Uncle Tidfay. That's where the problem in your deck is. Well, when you get the game gets flowing, you want these like good mid-range spells, son. I'd say we don't really get, I mean, we don't get any bigger than 4 mana. So we're doing pretty good for ourselves, I'd just like to say. You pair so well with the other frogs is why I don't want to remove you. God, it hurts so much. Can't remove anyone. Can't remove anyone. If we were to have 27 cards and 21 lands, that would put us at 46. I'm doing it. I'm not a Magic pro. You're like, yeah, I've figured that out, Uncle Tiffany. Do we want to throw this thing in here? It could only get us our rat back. I guess it could get us our shapeshifters. Nah, it can't justify it. So we want one of you. Suggest lands. That puts us at 44. Is that enough lands? I can't tell. There's too many charts and graphs, and there's also like a cool white lion man in the middle of the screen. I can't tell. Oh, and you can switch the arts, I believe. Yeah, because you don't want just all of the same art. That's boring. 5 swamps. That seems a bit swamp heavy, man. We're going to want more green and blue early on. Let's add... I guess we have more blue than anything is why it gave us more of those. Let's add one more view and one more view. Could we justify taking out a swamp since we have this? Well, we said 46 before. 5, 6, 7. I mean, it's not like having a swamp is bad. It's just colorless mana. It's free colorless mana, as they say. Okay. This is what we're going to go with. So let's pick 6 forests that look cool. There's so many to choose from. Oh, these are like all kinds of different sets. I want the ones from this set. Let me filter that. Bloomburrow. Okay. Oh, is there not basic lands for this set? Really? Really? Okay, then never mind. Boom. I guess we could just pick all kinds of forests then. So we want 6. Yeah, that one's all right. We want forests that looks like the kind of places our rats and frogs and such would hang out. They're like robots that are overgrown or something. Okay, here we go. That's like a cool temple. Oh yeah, that place looks pretty cool. That place looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, they gotta have this one. Oh god. How long? I didn't realize I was at this many choice. I guess it is like all the damn lands in Arena. Because I'm pretty sure they don't limit you on that stuff. Pretty sure they don't limit. Okay, we finally hit the end. We have how many? They don't stack. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 2 more. So many to choose from. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. Some kind of weird pine cones. I'll take me one of them, and I'll take me one of them. And that's the way the forest goes. Shaw. Alright, so we need our 5 swamps. Extra ratty swamps, please. Oh, look at this one, son. The end of days. All of these are so neat and nifty. Basic land art is like... You gotta appreciate it. 1... 2... 3... 4... I'm not even gonna look at all of them. 5, there we go. Beautiful. Just beautiful. I guess you can heart the ones you like the most, and that way when you do sealed events, you can pick them very quickly. I have to do that on my own, like a little brother. Alright, 7 islands. 7 islands he had to choose. And all the choices he could not lose. Now you gotta have the well. Big chains. This place. Some kind of magic city. Yeah, that one's pretty. 3. Oh, you could see like beyond the veil. Like the Stormcaller card or whatever. Stargaze. Stargaze. My favorite card that has to be in the deck. It has to be in the deck. Okay, that's more like being at the beach. I mean, I appreciate when rats go to the beach in their cute rat bikinis, if they're Clarans or Burmesians or such. This one like has the... Oh, they all have a glow about them. I was like, this one's special. This one was just for me. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 2 more. I think I already picked that one. Yeah. Can't double up on islands. Give me this Maelstrom. And... whatever these cool things are, right? It's very important that we don't double up on land, son. Alright, what are we going to call this deck with our rats and frogs? We're going to call it Heard a Rat. Did you guys hear a rat? No, it's the too inside jokey. Just call it what it is, son. Rats and frogs. Also otter. Okay, there we go. That's a deck right there, boys. That's a deck. How could we lose? Oh, God. I have to win games now with this nightmare of a deck I threw together. Pray for me, all. Pray for me. I'm going to start a separate recording for that. So I could pray for myself. So guide me, Ink Eyes, Servant of Oni. Guide me, Freya Crescent. Guide me towards the path of rat victory. All right, I'm rejuvenated, so let's lose some Magic the Gathering games. It's a good thing. Potentially, for entertainment purposes. All right, versus Bar Claws. Look, Stargaze in our opening hand. Look at this awful opening hand, but we got one of each card. No, I'm keeping them. I'd rather lose with this variety hand than anything else. Oh, the ambience and such is real loud. Let's do something about that. Let's do something about that. Turn you down a bit. Maybe turn you down just a little bit. Don't concede the game. Oh, I have to... Oh, you're using that damn shit against me? That's awful. Stargaze. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at this mess. Look at this mess of a hand. God, so many 3 and 4 costed spells. So I'm really... Okay, at least he didn't cast nothing this time. Okay, we're going to want to cast you whenever we can. So let's go ahead and get this black mana out there. Maybe he won't cast anything either. That could be fun. Okay. What you got going? Okay, just flies over here and gains them life. There's our damn Sunsour Druid we wanted this whole time. We're going to want to bounce you. So we want him in play to start doing that. Or we could just start surveilling. If we get him into play, he's just going to cast a card to kill it, probably. But I'm being a worry wart. Just play the damn thing. Plus now we can tap him to gain mana as well. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Good for you. Idiot. Baka. I like this peaceful little tertiary stream we're playing over. Yeah, you think you're the big man because your bat cleric flew over here and hit me in the mouth. Look at that. You gonna give me food? He didn't even give me food. Man, what an asshole. What a perfect asshole. All right, we can cast damn near anything we want. We can cast our good spell. We could throw this crowd into play, and then they become more powerful as we cast our good spells. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah, get these boys into play. I need me a rat in play. Listen to them squeaky noises. Okay, what do we want to do? You go to the graveyard. If we play more of you... put them both. We need to get threshold at some point. At some point. So peaceful. So calm. Bar Claws. Charles Bar Claws. Oh, look! Our favorite card that we loved. You're going to make your bat the big bat, are you, buddy? Going to hit me with the big bat, buddy. Oh! I don't care. Idiot. Baka. Alright, what are we doing with this shit? We could leave up counterspell mana like an asshole. Kind of want to use this to make my boys bigger. And then we could also use this to make my boys even bigger. Son, that's a good plan. That's a good plan? Is it? Let's just do it. Fuck it. Oh, they're such good friends. They're such good friends. Now, we could attack with them, and if they block, thinking they're real cheeky and sneaky, we could use this to make him, what, just slightly bigger? He would still not kill both of them, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So we're going to have to plan this out better. Do you think he'd block if I attacked? That's the question. That's magic. Okay, I know, Mark Rosewater, calm down. No attacks. Can't have no goddamn moment strategist. Play something big, idiot. One counter spell on my deck, and God, I'd love to ruin your fucking day with it, boys. That's what happens when you put blue in your deck. It makes you an asshole. When Heaped Harvest enters, and when you sacrifice it, you may search your library for basic land card. No, fuck you. Counter target spell, just because I can. Just because I can. I think he needs lands. So now he ain't getting them. Now he ain't getting them. I know I can't block it, but fuck you. I don't care. All right, we need to start doing something. We need to start getting this boy some damage. Dealing some damage. Yeah, let's go ahead and cast this. Okay, you and you. Polywallop will be very good. We definitely want that. We don't need you as much nowadays, so I'm going to put you down there. Can we oh, we control a frog, boys! Oh, the good times are here. We're going to attack. Target creature control gets and hexproof. Oh, and untap it. We got our cool rat card. We got our cool rat card. All right, I've got all kinds of stupid plans that are going to work just right. That are going to work just right. We're going to attack with you. See if he blocks. Deal damage. Ooh, right in the mouth. And end our turn. Oh, no, I don't want to cast that thing because I need my Polywallop mana. I got a plan, boys. I got a plan. The next time he's like, I'm going to attack you with my Bat Cleric. I'm like, really? Well, I believe my Rat and Otter boys are going to sock him right in the fucking gob. Swearing on their mums in real time. Oh, he's thinking. Yeah, look at my frog. Why you gonna kill my frog? Man, that's awful. And he gets food. Damn. Food for frog killing, as they call it. Yes. We'll resolve that. Oh, you want to see a combat trick? Oh, I can't cast Polywallop anymore because I don't have a frog. I just realized that. But we can do this. I'm going to block your rabbit frog with my otter rat. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Look how good of friends they are. Son, they're going to knock these motherfuckers unconscious. It's not even going to be a fight. It's not even going to be a battle. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. How many options do you have that you could sit there for that long? Oh, if only you had reach. Oh, we're going to do something about this next turn, though. Next turn's going to be spectacular if he doesn't have some kind of combat trick. They threw themselves into my good friends. You think they don't eat a bowl of good friend cereal every morning out of one big bowl with 2 spoons, son? You think that's what they don't do? All right, here is my plan. I'm going to throw you in the plane. You're going to activate your food token in response. Here's the plan, buddy boy. You're going to get socked right in the gob, and then my boys are going to come swinging for you. They're going to come swinging for you. All attacks, please. Yes. Oh. Okay, please don't draw anything good. Please don't draw anything good. Reach. Oh, look at these cool squirrels with bows. Draw a card. Okay. I'm going to keep this island in my hand so that they think I have a combat trick. Okay, you're just a 2/4. So if I attack with both of these, he can't kill either one of them. So at the most, I can do 1 damage to him. End turn. Oh, what's this in my hand I keep looking at, buddy? Such a good card, and I've got 7 manas. If only I had that damn nail. What the hell was that? Eager eater of all. Elemental cat. Oh, no. Sacrifice food to other creatures you control. Other creatures are food artifacts in addition to their other types. What the hell? He's a cat, and he turns all your cards into food. Why do I only draw lands? I blame Mark Rosewater. Okay, well, I can't do shit while he's got that 6/6 coming at me. Damn. Damn. Yeah, I'm thinking this game might be tits up, unfortunately. It's Magic the Gathering, so either you draw no lands or you draw only lands. Those are your options. Those are your options. He can sacrifice a food to make the thing... Oh, great. Resolve. Okay, what do you do? Resolve. Okay, my 2 islands. Damn, I guess I should have played them. That's magic. You gonna throw that 6/6 at me? Idiot. Shit. Well, it doesn't matter what I do now. I'll just lose 3 life. I'm pretty much boned, unfortunately. He's attacking me with a 6/6, so I gotta block it. Oh, I'm trying to get 2 blockers. Excuse me, excuse me. The lesson is I probably should have mulliganed that opening. Well, the lesson is I should have built a better deck. But I probably should have mulliganed that opening hand. Let's see what I got. Oh, wow. The game-winning card. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. There's pretty much nothing I can do next turn because he's just going to throw all of them at me. I mean, I could chump block with my otter and my rats and live another turn. Should we just concede? Save everybody's time? Yeah, let's do that. Boom. Good game? Question mark. All right, once we lose twice, I think. Okay, or we have to lose 3 times to get knocked out. To get knocked out. Well, there's no reason to dilly-dally, son. Look at this much more sensible starting hand, son. Much more sensible. And we even have a way around not having a black mana. Their deck has this cool squirrel neck. Oh, that's what's her name? That famous planeswalker. Liliana or something like that. Okay, since it's the only possible target, it targeted itself. Well, look at this full art mountain. Look at all this nonsense. Each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card. I guess we'll discard this right here. Discard a non-land card. How do I pick it? Okay, submit 1. Okay, we got us another frog druid. Neat. That means we could play you and make this one a little bit bigger and then swing for 2. Every little bit counts. And when we play this frog, we'll be able to bounce that frog. Have frogception. Well, look at you, weasel mercenary. The infamous Cruel Claw. Okay, it does a bunch of stuff we can't really pay attention to right now. Okay, let's see. How do we want to play this? We could throw the banner down naming frog and attack, and he won't be able to block it. That's probably the best choice. That's probably the best choice. It hurts me to not be able to pick rat, but sometimes you gotta be a frog. Sometimes you gotta frog it all. Alright, let's read more what you do. Deals combinations. Player exile cards from top of your library until you exile another card. You may cast that card by discarding the card rather than... Oh, jeez. That's like a Cascade or whatever. The player has 1 or fewer cards in hand. They lose 2 life. Jesus. Alright, do we want to let that thing hit us? Oh, we don't have a choice. Wait, we don't... Oh, he has Menace. So they're going to get to cast a card for free, potentially, well, by discarding a card. Well, look who has a cool Squirrel Warlock that I scoffed at in their deck. This is the revenge of the Squirrel Warlocks. And the damn thing's got Death Touch. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Oh, Jesus. So once we get to 2 or less cards... Oh, no, 1 or fewer. Okay. Oh, the Stargaze is going to save us. The Stargaze appeared to save us. We need a... Oh, we have another black mana. Should we Stargaze it up and get real big? We probably want to go ahead and get this guy in play, although I'm sure he has plenty of kill spells playing damn red and black. Oh, whatever. We need this shit. He couldn't decide. Let's get you back. Let's bounce that frog. You know, it just dawned on me, you bounce the frogs because they, you know, they hop, they jump. Frogs like to jump. Okay, which frog do we want to make bigger? Yourself. I buff those who buff themselves. Or is it better to have a bigger monster? Well, we want to diversify our damage, because if we put all of it on one, he's probably just going to use a damn kill spell. And that's going to make me real sad. It's going to make me real sad. I could attack and make him lose his squirrel. I'm doing it. Fuck it. You either take the damage and lose your squirrel. This way he can't use its damn effect or menace me with a damn death touch monster. You motherfucker. Combat tricks. It's shameful. It's shameful. Ah, damn it. Well, at least it's going now. My God, you need to calm down. See, I told you removal. I told you removal. It's almost like if you know what you're doing, the game is much simpler to be good at. This is one way of putting it. Okay, I can't block that. All right. If we don't draw anything else, we're going to have to Stargaze next turn. We're going to have Trip Balls. Trip the Rift, fantastic. Also foods. Okay, what the hell is this now? Okay, his deck generates foods. It generates foods. That's one thing we know about it. All right, how do we want to go about this? Stargaze for the biggest amount possible, and then that'll get us to threshold. That'll get us to threshold. So we want black, black, and then 1, 2, 3. I want to be able to cast that druid as well, though. 3. Stargazing for 3 would be good. Let's do that. Autoplay? Okay. Okay. Put 3 cards into my hand. What do I need? I need you. And those guys would be pretty good. Let's get them. And that'll bounce one of our good bouncy frogs. That's a good thing. Okay, now we can throw you down. And make yourself bigger. And I'm going to attack with this damn frog. You ain't got any more combat tricks, shitlord? You going to sacrifice your squirrel, or you going to get slapped with these frog hands? Catch these frog hands, they're saying. I don't think I read this when I was looking at the cards, by the way. Yeah, we're going to do something about your little friend there, by the way. Just saying. Oh, look at this cool mouse you got into play. Damn you. Damn you. We could also bounce you when we do things that bounce creatures. I didn't think about that. He lets us surveil. Do we have threshold? We're 1 away from threshold. Oh no, I don't even know what that does. Okay, a lot of stuff I don't want him to do. Okay. You're good in certain circumstances. We could attack and try to psych him out. He'd be like, oh God, should I block? Should I block? Oh. Let's do that. Okay, this is just what we wanted. Is this just what we wanted? Yeah. Okay, yeah. For some reason, I thought he was blocking with this guy, even though he's tapped. That's why I was so confused. Okay, now that we've done that, we want to leave enough open for a polywallop. So let's get this guy into play. Do we want a dire sight? No. Okay, so let's tap 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, we do have another mana open. I forgot that banner. I forgot about that banner. I don't want that. Oh, countering his spells would feel so fucking good, man. It would feel so fucking good. But we probably need a creature or something. So, not right now. End turn. What you gonna do? Let's see what he does. Well, he's thinking he's real quick. Okay, I don't even know what you do at level 2, but it's probably ain't good. Okay, oh, you make me mill cars? Well, that's fine with me. Okay, are you attacking? Oh, not that thing. Whatever will I do? Whatever shall I do? Except sock you right in the fucking gob. Son, to both of them. Punching you in the mouth at the same time. Please don't tell me that one card in your hand is a dumbass combat trick. Oh. Yeah, get you a food token so you can eat away your sorrow that I killed your weasel boy. Oh, Jesus, he delved or something. This fucking thing. He immediately did a bunch of shit to get that card back. You're doing too much stuff, man. The game's supposed to just be play a bunch of creatures and hope you win. This guy don't know nothing about playing Magic. Okay, what are we doing this turn? Getting you into play. Dire sighting. Dire sighting. Yes. Okay, I don't need you. Oh, you're a good combat trick, and you have super cool artwork that I love. Oh, finally! Some good fucking news comes up in my deck. Okay. How are we going to go about this? We've got combat tricks, baby. We got combat tricks. We could always use that to destroy any of his things that block. If I all attack, I'm probably going to die next turn. I should attack with this, and if he blocks it, that's fine. Chump block. Alright, he's creating more food. End turn. That's how he's getting his... Okay. Yeah, well, his card's based around that squirrel, so he's doing a lot better. If I'd put that squirrel in this deck, I mean, I barely know what I'm doing with my frogs and rats. Okay. All kinds of stuff happening. All kinds of stuff happening. I don't mind milling. He's got like 900 creatures in play all of a sudden. I don't like that. I don't care for it. Should have less than that. I guess it's my turn. No attackers. I could keep that island so I could discard, but I need to be able to cast spells too. Okay. You're pretty powerful with your... You're going to be a 5/5 with my threshold. That's a good thing. We need to just start getting creatures into play. If we get that flying bird into play, we can start pecking at him with it. While we hide behind our other creatures. That's probably what we need to do. And if we just want more... I see, I want to keep a blue open so I could use Shore Up if he gets real cocky. But we just need bodies on the ground at this moment. We just need to mass bodies on the ground. And I can bounce one of my... If I bounce the duo, I could surveil, but we'll probably just bounce this one of these. So I can cast it again later for fun. Make my bird bigger. Make my bird bigger. Big bird buddy boys, they'll call us. Unfortunately, no. I won't be attacking today. Look, he's got a cool bow on him because he's got reach. What's this angry otter? Okay. Let you play cards for fun, does he? I'm tapped out, so he knows I don't have any secret tricks up my sleeve. Or do I? I could always throw a big pissy tantrum and concede the game, son. That's my ultimate final counter move. Oh no, the third level. In your end step, you may sacrifice 3 other non-land permanents. If you do, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it, so we know it gets exiled if it dies. Well, he's tapped out too. This is when if I had that elk, boys, I could blow him out. You're like, how? I'm like, I don't know. I just know that if I had that elk. If I had that elk. You get back your little mouse soldier? Because I'd support that. I ain't even looked at these. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, he sacrificed to get to do this again. Okay. I guess he's trying to mill us to death now. How many cards we got left? 10. Okay. Now's the time for things to happen. Potentially. Potentially. Alright, the best thing we could do is play you. Make our bird bigger. None of his dudes have reach, so that's a good thing. Let's see, are we just going to attack with the bird? If we attack with that 3/4, he could, if he blocks it with that Pathmaker, we could use our combat trick. So I'm going to attack with you and you. Should we throw this guy out there as well? Nah, we need to be conservative. And we can make you even bigger. I mean, he could always block them with that rat, or the, excuse me, that necromancer squirrel to death touch it. Okay, so he's thinking about doubling up for safety. Okay, I definitely want to kill you first. So I'm going to deal 1, 2, 3. Oh. Oh. Oh no, what happened? Am I going to kill 2 of your creatures? Golly gee willikers. The rat took one and the otter got the other. The otter got the other. It works. Playing everything. Oh, you didn't know I had that cool rat warlock, did you? You're worried now. Maybe he won't play any good cards and I'll win. Oh no, what does that do? Whenever your land you control enters, creature does one. Okay. Luckily, he's already played a lot of lands. Luckily, he's already played a lot of lands. Okay, we can't get milled to death. That would be sad. Next turn, we should probably just throw everything at him. That would probably be a good thing. We just got to hit him with 7 damage. Our bird's going to get through for 4. So we need to hit him with 3 damage amongst all these creatures. I believe in us. He plays something crazy. I believe in us. And the heart of the cards. Guy of the Fierce Knight. I'm going to top deck him next turn. Oh, he's thinking. Nyarlathotep. Okay, he's getting one of his boys back. Oh yeah, I forgot about that effect. So let's keep that island in our hand then. We could surveil. Find us something good. Find us something good. See, if I all-out attack, the most he could block is 4 and 3 and 5. And I'll still do 3 damage to him. The problem is he'll just kill me next turn if I don't win. So it depends on what he has in his hand. Damn it. Okay. We're going to have to play mind games. Okay, we're going to attack with you. And we just need to leave up a couple of blockers. So let's throw all of our big creatures at him. Because even if he blocks all of them, they're going to kill his creatures too, unless he has something crazy. And we're going to make you bigger. Plus, for all he knows, I have the best combat trick of all time in my hand. Is it finally time to sacrifice your squirrel, buddy? Is it finally time to give up the squirrel for some death touch? You gotta block something. You gotta block something. Oh, he's scrambling, boys. He's scrambling. Okay, please don't have something that blows my asshole out. Okay, he's going to gain some life and make me kneel. He's getting me close. Oh, damn it. My cool rat. I'll never get to cast that cool rat. All right, what you got left? I guess he's going to try to do as much as he can with what he has. Ooh, 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 ooh. And in turn. Okay. Let's see what happens. I tried. You can't say I didn't try, because I tried. There may have been a path to victory there, but like I said, I'm not particularly good at Magic. And I have not played it in a couple of years. Sun's in my eyes. Oh, I went to Bojangles this morning, so I can't use the poor breakfast angle, son. Doesn't hold water. Oh, hey, it's that thing. Remember that thing? It's nice to see you. Okay, he's throwing away the good shit to get something out here that he believes in. Okay, that deals the damage to me. And it meals me. Okay, is this gonna kill? Is this what's gonna kill me? Yeah, he mealed me. Damn, good game. Good game. It's a bit disappointing. I'm sorry I let you kids down, but at least it was a bit more entertaining than the last one. You know how that is. All right. Well, the good thing about losing is we only have to lose one more time, and then we're done. And then we're done. Then we can go back to never playing Magic again, son. All right. Let's get right into it. Yeah, but I'm not mulligan in it, so we see why we're going to lose. I've heard the auto shuffler in this game is not actually random and tries to maintain like a 50-50% win rate. But I'm just going to assume we're never going to draw a swamp or an island. At least we got this thing. We can live 3 turns. Our frog buddy will help us. I guess our opponent's having a hell of a time deciding if they're going to mulligan or not. The glottal air subsumes me. At least we got our good friends pondering the orb of good friendship. It shows them the nearest grocery store that has good friends cereal in stock, boys. I was going to say, maybe we'll win because they're away from their computer. Well, look at this cute little mouse hanging out over here. How lovely. How lovely. Yes, gaze upon my frog. Okay. Oh, hey. That looks familiar. Well, look at that. We're just drawing green mana. Do-do-do-do-do. Richard Garfield's ghost rolling in its grave, even though he's not dead. Well, you've got access to 4 mana, so I expect big things. That's pretty big. Mouse Bard, Whiskervale Forerunner. Okay, it does a bunch of stuff I ain't got time to read. I ain't got time to read. Get you in play. We've got 2. Well, we got more rats than anything. I'm gonna pick rat. It doesn't benefit me right this second, and I don't care. Because we got 1, 2, 3 rats. No non-green mana, by the way. I'm just saying, it's 100% legit. RNG. It's the first time I've recorded Arena for my own channel, and I've already using the excuse. No, I think it's legitimately set up in a way to try to, like, make win losses happen. I'm not, I mean, you can call it cope. I mean, I'll admit I'm bad at the game and I make bad choices, so I don't really have to cope. When you're shit at the game, you don't have to cope. You can just point out bullshit. Nobody holds any power over you. I ain't blocking that. Yeah, you're real proud of yourself. Uh-huh. Look at all those swamps and all them, yeah, swamps and islands we're drawing, boys. Can't stop them. I could blow up one of your creatures for fun. Probably that fucking thing. Let's see. First time each turn, look at top 5 cards. Your creature, mana 3 or blending, put it on the battlefield. Okay, that's going to be good if he can target that thing with abilities. I feel like I should just kill it. Of course, I should probably just kill that too. Okay. Attacking creatures get buffs. Yeah. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Fuck it. I don't care. Get rid of that fucking thing. Put you into play. You buff that. I'll attack. Little by little, inch by inch. At least they're playing green and white. It's one of my favorite combinations. One of my old Cat Warrior decks was very green and white. It's basically Miri and then a bunch of good white buffs, so. You only win if your opponent gets mana screwed, but when you do, you feel the best. Any game you win with Miri Cat Warrior, you feel the best. I guess they're having a hell of a time deciding too. But we got one card in our graveyard. Oh, these will help us surveil. We can make you good enough to not get blocked. Where were you when I needed you earlier, by the way? It's sad to me that we're not going to get to play our cool Rat Rogue one time. That's the saddest part of how shittily I've played. Okay, yes, 1,000 things are happening. That's fine. That's fine. It's real twinkly if he could figure out what they're doing. Alright, would you get some Batbird? 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 What can you do? Man, your cards do too much shit. These people like me just play procs. Another green mana! It's random! It's random, everybody! It's random. You're just a crazy person. If you don't think it's just random, you're crazy, son. Tinfoil hat! Tinfoil hat! I would like to have you in play, and I'd like to have that swamp too, so I'm keeping them both. No attacks. I'm just going to slowly lose the game. Okay, well, yeah, 900 thing. Yeah, we've lost this game. I hate to be the one to tell you all this. This one wasn't even close. The last game, the 50-50 shuffler gave us a chance, so it seemed close. But we pretty much know there's no hope now, so that's fine. Kind of freeing in some way. We're going to bounce you. I want to use you to make him bigger. That's what we'll do. Okay, and now we can bounce. Well, I don't want you to lose your token. And I don't want to have to cast this crowd again. I need them in play. So we're not actually going to use your ability. How sad. You get a +1/+1 counter. No attacks. Well, at least we can start hitting him with that Hermit if he doesn't do anything to it. Because it's unblockable now. No, it's not. We don't have Threshold. I'm an idiot. I need to start getting some shit in my graveyard. I mentioned recently we're going to lose this game. If I can cast that damn Rat Rogue one time, just one time, I don't mind. I genuinely don't mind losing the game. The main point of this video was I wanted to check this set out and look at all the cute little critters and gush about them and have a hostage audience if you're somehow unable to stop the video or click off the screen. All right. Slowly but surely, whittle me down. Whittle me down, Batman. Maybe they're like, they'll get up to go get a Hot Pocket or something in between turns, and they'll fall through a hole in the floor of their kitchen, and they won't be able to get out in time, and they'll time out, and I'll win. Is that a swamp? I didn't know my day had no swamps in it. I reckon. All right, what can I do? I mean, I can surveil. No, that's what that other cool rat warlock does. I forgot. We have to decide what we're going to do. We're going to cast you. They're going to think long and hard about whether we're allowed to surveil too or not. Yeah, buddy. Your computer. Did you leave the room? You taking a piss? At least we can look at these cool rats while we're waiting, son. There we go. We're gonna bounce you. You are very useful. We don't need another swamp. Ironically, I need to draw non-land cards. You'll give us another potential creature. So yeah, I'm keeping it. Now we can cast you. I'm going to keep making that hermit bigger until we somehow get threshold, and then I can start attacking with Impunity. And probably Imp immunity. That looks like the kind of cool rat rogue that would equip the white cape from Final Fantasy VI. Alright, let's see. +1/+1 counter on you. Do we want to attack? We probably need to play very conservatively, so no. He's going to slowly peck at us with this damn Batbird. If I drew Trippin' Ball Z, Taikenichi, or whatever, stargazing or whatever right now, that would be nice. That would be very nice. I would appreciate drawing that card right now. Just saying. I'm just saying. Look at this little feller, son. So you went more rabbity than I did. Hey, as long as they keep playing conservative, that's fine, although we're slowly dying until... Well, every time we bounce one of these, at least we get some life back. That's a good thing. If I draw a Wallop, or one of my Reach Frogs, that would be nice. That would be nice. Of course, we know what we're drawing next turn. I didn't think about that. I should have thrown you in the graveyard, man. I'm playing bad. I admit it. I hope nobody who, like, actually cares about Magic immensely and, like, how, you know, wanting to win and stuff, just watching this, because I know I'm letting you down. But I am having a good time. So if I didn't have all these cool rats. Plus, once again, we might win due to timeout. Because they've chose to attack and then chose to leave this earth and all their worldly possessions behind, including their computer box that they're playing Arena on. Very peaceful. Is this the only backdrop we're going to get, by the way? Is this like the Bloomburrow backdrop? Okay, there we go. They woke up to justice. I'll throw this damn thing into play. Because why not? It's a nice mana fixing. Okay, I'll pay 2 mana. Oh, wait. I just used up a bunch of mana somehow. Return you. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not like I could do anything with the mana, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to keep making my rat big. Damn. Should I throw a couple of attackers at him now? Should I start getting froggy? LOL. He would have to either chump block or block a bunch of them with, or throw a bunch of them at one creature. No. Because I don't know if he has some kind of overrun ability that buffs all. He had that one monster we killed. Yeah, this thing. So it's a good thing we got rid of that when we did. All right. I appreciate that you're here and present this turn. Arthgon-kun. Hey, an island. I didn't know they made those. Let's just go and play. Well, we could attack first and then play it, I guess, but I don't really want to do that. I don't. Well, if some of our creatures die, that gets us closer to threshold, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, I'm going to have to start throwing some attacks out there and see what he does. Because otherwise, I'm just going to slowly be pecked to death. Maybe he'll think I have a combat trick in my hand. Maybe he'll think I'm a crazy person. The kind of crazy person with a combat trick in their hand. He's probably wondering I have so many blue cards in play and ain't played one damn island. Hey, I like big rat damage, and the otter helped too. Should I go ahead and play this island? No. Keep the mystery. And rewrite history. Another nice thing about this guy is he turns our little frogs here into mana sources for casting creatures. Next time a creature controller return to the battlefield instead of troll, so that's just a bounce spell. Okay, and if it's a bird or okay. Okay, I see all kinds of shit are happening. He's playing a weenie deck. I'll wait for the Beavis and Butthead types to stop giggling. That's usually a white strategy in Magic. It's where you get a bunch of little creatures out and use their various attributes to overwhelm your foe. You still just gonna peck at me with your bird, buddy? I guess so. Oh, hey. It's that card. I've got one too. Well, it'll let us bounce yet again. And that'll continue to be a good thing. I'm betting it all on our Rat Rogue Hermit. So I'm just going to keep making him big. I'm just going to keep making him big. And one day he's going to win us this game. Okay, what do we want to attack with anything? He's got that 4/3. I'm just going to throw these two at him again. Once again, if he blocks them, that's just getting us closer to threshold. Should we attack with this thing too? Oh, you're a mana source as well because you're a frog. Oh, I just noticed 6/9. So I'm telling you, game winning. So many things he has could kill that, and he could easily block it. Yeah, we're just going to attack with these two. Oh, but I've got this combat trick, buddy. What are you going to do about my combat trick? It's the Maelstrom. Okay. Jump blocking with some bunnies. Oh, you want to take one of them out with 2 bunnies? Is that going to work with my combat trick? With my combat trick? Is that going to work with my combat trick? Oh, he really doesn't like that these things are coming at him. That'll work. That'll work. So he still has more creatures, but I got rid of some of his stuff, and that's a good thing. I honestly didn't even know he had that ability because I'm paying so little attention. Because there's so many cards that I don't know what they do. What was that, this one? Yeah. Damn. So you see how the weenie deck works. They throw a bunch of little creatures at you and make them big. Ah, so close. The threshold. Be nice if I could draw some of my surveil cards, but oh, the auto shuffler. The auto shuffler is so random. I guess I did draw both of them, but still. I'm allowed to be pissy and mad when I'm losing a Magic game. That's part of the rules. You're going to watch somebody play Magic, you got to be ready to deal with it. Hey, I got this thing to 6/9. Son, if you're managing to 69 a cool rat rogue, you've already won the game. The moral victory. The moral victory. You think he has enough mana, he just attack with everything, and then however I block, he could just buff his creatures like twice. Hey, look who finally decided to be in my hand! What a treat! Okay, it's supposed to be you. Alright, do we want to keep buffing our boy? I believe in our rat boy. I believe in our rat boy. Unfortunately, he won't be 6/9 anymore, but that's part of believing in the rat boy, son. That's part of the job of believing in the rat. Now, if I attack with that 7/10, he would have to block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, if I had a genuine combat trick, I would do it. But because we're betting everything on that boy, I can't just throw him out there. Now, I'm not as worried because we can block his damn flyer now, but still. But still, it hurts. No attacks this turn. I should throw that thing at him so he'd block it and get me closer to Surveil. I honestly should have. Alright. I can't even see him. Okay, that would have been a good card in this deck, ironically enough. We didn't even see one. I ain't never even seen you, frog pond prophet. Hard to say. Like pound puppies. Wait, what is that? The Village of the Frogs? Jesus. On each. They entered his turn. Okay, I didn't read that part. I was like, damn. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Damn it. Frustrating. I know it's frustrating for y'all to watch. It's very frustrating for me as well. I feel like they almost don't seem to know what they're doing. Could we both be equally bad at the game and we're just like canceling each other out? I feel like you could have easily overwhelmed me. Maybe it's because I got this cool rat in play, see? They're like, man, nobody who has that cool rat in play and has gotten them that big could be a crazy lunatic who has no idea what he's doing. Some of my card advantage would be so nice. Some of that card advantage. Oh, you got a little blue. I guess he does with the frogs. I guess he does with the frogs. Like Bad Luck Bootsy. Yeah. Okay, this is it. This is it. It's happening. It's happening. Okay, he's going to buff them at least twice. So we're going to have some crazy shit coming through here. Okay, you're chump blocking that. Okay, I want to block the thing that buffs. So that's you. You're blocking that. He has a card in his hand too. We got to keep that in mind. You're going to block the flyer. Let's see, you are 3/2, so you could manage to kill once he's done buffing twice. You block one of them. You're just chump blocking, so you block that. And you can block that. Combat tricks, combat tricks. Okay, what crazy nonsense you got in your hand, buddy? Wonder if I got threshold now. Damn. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what is the current iteration of the play? He's going to kill me. If I have to kill him this turn, and I don't think I can, but it was a good try, because we're going to do 8, 11, we're going to do 13 damage. 13 damage. I could kill myself with this Nocturnal Hunger, I suppose. Okay. We didn't get our damn rat rogue, because you can't have anything good in this world. You can't have anything good in this world. Very satisfying at the very least. Which of your fucking creatures am I gonna blow up? Who caused me the most misery and woe? I guess it was that damn flying thing. I'm gonna kill myself with this card. Okay, gift of food. Good game. I'm conceding. Idiot. All right. Well, that was fun. I'd say I cobbled together some kind of barely workable mess. Pretty good. But no, seriously. And all jokes aside, I just made this video on a whim because I wanted to check out. I get to claim my loser prize. Hey, even losers get rewards. I guess we can get our loser rewards now. We can get our participation trophy. Oh yeah, I just wanted to check the set out. So let's open these booster packs. Is that a thing I have? How do I tell? Oh, here we go, packs. Okay. Yeah, there's that cute little mouse I was talking about. Oh, they put the rare there to tease you. Moonstone Harbinger. Bats. Moonstone weapons drink in the last light of dust to give their wielders an edge in combat. Of course, the bat critters would be edgelords. I like that he's carrying a giant hatchet. Rabbit response. Oh god, the rabbits come out of the mist. There you go. You never fight just one rabbit folk. They bring the strength of their bird. I guess rabbits power in numbers. Okay, there's another one of them. Dewdrop cure. That poor little mouse got like a hangover headache or a toothache or something. No flavor tag. Okay, there's another polywallop. That's good. Another one of them. Oh, hell yeah. You gotta have 4 of these eventually. And our rare. Well, look at this cool frog wizard. That could have helped us win with my terrible deck. Your dreams are too precious to leave to chance, said the dream do Entrancer. All right. What's next? Look at this rat warlock. That's metal, son. That's metal. I can't even bear. Okay, I see its face now. It's underneath the weird address. Meal 3 cards. When you do, dark creatures. Greatest mana. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, it costs a lot. What a hideous creature. And the worm's no looker either. Dan Grumble. Rival Marsh Stalker. Okay, there's our little rabbit mouse. Okay, there's the rabbit children's we just encountered. Interrupting rabbit folk dinner is a most grievous offense. If you must do so, bring gifts for the little ones or bring a shield. Don't go board you, son. Natsuki Subaru knows about it. That's in Giddy's Guide to the Valley. Sugarcoat. You turned him into a little gingerbread rabbit. With your ratamancy, I assume you're doing in the background. Transform becomes food. Okay, turns them into food, like that cat. Oh, hey, I got a common wild card, so I can pick whatever common I want. Savor. That would have been really good in our deck. And there's the World Ender. The World Ender Rabbit. There's strength in numbers, yes. More importantly, there's joy. Not when you're getting your ass beat by a bunch of little critters, just saying. Oh, hey, free rare wild card. So I can pick any rare I want. At my leisure. At my leisure. Oh, it looks like we might have gotten us a mythic. There's another one of them. Another one of them. They're still cool. Ooh, look at this guy. Frield Spark Shooter. Its frills keep it steady, making its aim impeccable. Is that how that works? Another one of these. Another one of these. Here we go. Crumb and get it. Okay. Dark creature goes. The gift was promised. A creature also gains indestructible. Okay, so if you give them a food token, you can make your creature indestructible. Squirrel Raccoon, another hybrid. Baker's Bane, son. You leave a pie on the windowsill. Aunt B ain't had a pie. Make it to the dinner table in years since that crowd moved into the woods, licking their lips, boys. I'll take the crust, chittered the squirrel. And I'll take the feeling, drooled the raccoon. Boys, the crust might be the best part. If you got some vanilla ice cream, that squirrel might know what he's doing. All right, what's our good card? Ooh, hey, any mythic in the set we want? Maybe. I don't even know what's in the set. How do we see what's in the set? I don't even remember. I think you have to go to decks and like build a deck. Oh, these are the ones they just give you. Oh no, these are some of my old decks because there's Catboy Hero, son. There's Catboy Hero. Imagine that Catboy Hero is not currently legal. Who could have thought? So that was a fun deck right there. I'll have to play that for you sometime in like the expanded mode or whatever, and you could see just how ridiculous a Catboy Hero could be. Collection. This is what we want, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Everything is new. So I believe we can filter to not collected and mythic rare. And we want this set. Boom. So this is every mythic rare in the set. So hypothetically, if I were to spend that wild card that I just got, what would I want? I do like what's being shown in that picture. Looks cool. I'm not even looking at what the card does. I'm just looking at like the art. Who's the coolest art? Oh, that guy was a myth. That makes sense. That was a good card. Okay, there's that damn cat. I'd have built a deck around that damn cat if I'd have gotten it. Buff. There's some sort of super frog. Another super frog. Legendary otter rogue. I see. I figured that'd be like more mythic planeswalkers or something. Is this the only planeswalker in the set? He thought to himself. Okay, well that's enough of that. I appreciate you all.
Two ranks. One for constructed.
Okay, you've got to stop.
One for limited.
You've got to stop. All right, I appreciate you all joining me for this. Let me know if you'd like to see me scramble around in Bloomburrow some more. Once I know the set a little better, I can do draft, since that's timed. So I can't sit there and gush about the artwork. I can't gush about which cute rat I like more. Or we could do more sealed. Sky's the limit. So yeah, just let me know. Like I said, I had a good time. I had fun and I shared a few laughs. And I'm glad you all could be there with me to do it. Tell you what, we need to go into my collection because I need to zoom in. On the most important card of the set. This is the one we got out the most. I mean, I love this rat here, and we never once even got this card in our hand because there can be no joy in Magic the Gathering. That's what Richard Garfield and Mark Rosewater said. So we're going to have this end zooming in on the good friends. Son, you could do a lot worse. You could do a lot worse. You're like, you couldn't, Uncle Tenfei. With that sorry excuse for gameplay I just witnessed. I want to correct you right here at the end, but where's the lie? Where's the lie?